wrapped around your soul with no control. You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. When I look behind, it's moving closer every time. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. 'Cause darkness is my old friend. You will get me in the end. See you at the end. At the end. Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. 'Cause darkness, my old friend, you will get me in the end. See you at the end.
What's going on, folks? I'm back again. Will Stewart here with THFCRants. Conte is here. Shake that camera. What's going on? How are everyone out there? It's been a long time. Glad you guys are here. I've missed you. I hope you've missed me too. 보고 싶다. 보고 싶었습니다. See who's in the comments here. I have pinned the link to the top of the chat if you want to join the show today. Today's just kind of a Q&A, just a little chit chat session about Nuno getting the sack, Conte coming in. Does this mean that things change? Are we going to start buying players? All of the above. Jump on, click the link, join the show, have your say. And maybe we'll be joined by some fun guys later on. We'll see. Let's go through the comments a little bit here and see who's jumped in here. And who has jumped on in the comments to say hello to us here. Mr. Daryl Denton, good luck, Mr. Conte. Not keen on January window. So not holding much hope this season. Just be happy with 5 to 6 shots on target each game. It's a very level-headed opinion there, my friend. Very level-headed opinion. Mr. Jamie Gidd, how you been, my friend? Back Conte, and don't dare try to bareback him, Levy. I hope he doesn't, but I think that he might. Hopefully I'm wrong. Mr. Eugene from Spurswation TV. Hi, everyone. Welcome, Will Stewart, THFCRants. Thank you, my friend, for joining the stream. I will like Will, Tommy YouTube, the best, no waffle, just pure facts. Well, thank you, my friend. I try to be level-headed. I try to be rational. None of this irrationality. No delusion here. Although some may disagree with you. Some may disagree. The regular says, now I can enjoy going to the games. You know what? I always enjoy Spurs, even when we suck. El Saeed says, I added today to my calendar as Spurs Day. That's good. We missed you a long time. Dietrich Kane says, from Canada. That's great. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you do want to jump on the show, just click the link and jump on in. The show today is open for everyone. Cha-Cha India Spurs. Yay. Long time no see, Will. Yeah, it's been about 10 days. And it's been a while, but it's good to be back. It's good to be back. My toys have missed me. Toys. Gotta love the toys. Always late to the party, Will. What's late about it? They just announced it today officially. But maybe you meaning you're late? Maybe. Bob Spur TV's in the house. What's going on, Mr. Bob? I've seen you guys. I've been on a couple other shows since I got back. I'll go into a little bit about where I've been and what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks-ish. Will Hyungnim, 너무 오랜만이에요. Yes, it has been a long time. He says, long time no see in Korean. Wayne Bonner is back. Well. Has Levy buckled? Does he get it now? I can't wait to see what he does in the transfer window, what he spends and who he brings in. I am right there with you, Wayne. Hopefully, it is some good stuff for the January window. Steve Hitchen is still around. Maybe a tough one, but we'll see. Evening, Will. All THFC finally back. Hopefully, I hope so too. Mr. Paul Brown. Hope you've been doing well. Have to miss the stream, but it's a good day. Enjoy, everyone. It is a good day. Pak Sujin. Wow, long time. Good to see you. Yes, it is good to see you as well. Are we allowed to be happy now? We won't regret it, will we? We are allowed to be happy for at least the fact that we signed Conte as the new manager. You are allowed. I'm giving you permission to be happy. You can go ahead and be happy, at least for today. What happens on Thursday, yet to be seen. But at least for today and tomorrow, feel free to be happy. feel free to be positive today. Although super chats do make me less negative. So if you want to help support the channel with that, feel free to do that. Jump all the way to the front of the list if you throw in a super chat. Even as little as $2, get you all the way to the top of the list. And speaking of people who supported the channel, even during my little break that I was kind of forced to take, want to make sure that I do call out and shout out to the folks who help keep this channel running in the good times and the bad. We've got Patreon memberships. You can go to patreon.com/THFCRants, and you can sign up for as little as $4 a month, I think, $5 a month. That'll get your name on this sheet. It'll also get you shout outs in every show. Speaking of those guys, Spartan7 Gaming, Mr. Wayne Bonner, Mama Coates, Celery Agent AG Gogama, Tony Go, who's in the chat there, Alex Burleton, Botspur TV, John N, Colin Lumsdale. You can also choose a YouTube membership that gets you special little access to some things. It also gives you like these little emoticons that you can use in chat and all this fun stuff. We have several different levels there as well, starting from I think $3.99 a month to all the way up to $20 a month if you so choose. Matt Hayes over there, Tottenham blog. Me and Matt Hayes, we like to debate things at certain times, but I always love him. Sai says, Danny Kiriakou, The Bun, Wayne Bonner, Dan THFC. If you haven't subscribed to his channel yet, make sure you go and check him out. Tony Go, Scott M, Kirian McDonald. If you haven't checked his channel out either, make sure you go check him out. Tottenham Tantrum, make sure you check him out on Twitter. Colin Lumsdale, Kenneth Tottenham Hotspur, and Mr. Dave Jones. And with holiday season, Christmas season coming around, you can go over to www.thfcrants.com and you can get yourself some funny merch, Tottenham stuff. I know I keep saying I'm going to add more stuff to that store, but I need to do that, especially with holiday season coming up. Maybe some Conte stuff, horse heads. That'll be funny. Stuff like that. But anyway, hope you guys have been doing well. Let's get back to the comments here. Mr. Hoybear, Mr. Streams at WillStewartTHFCRants. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. I wish I could have been doing streams throughout all of this time. Miss you guys dearly. I did. ATM Nerd, good day today. It is a good day today. It is official, right? There's no more side talk. We have signed Antonio Conte as the new manager of Tottenham Hotspur starting Thursday. We got Mr. Yunus here. What's up, everyone? A new era dawns. We're massive. I don't know if we're massive, but we do have a massive manager, at least for now. My friend, Mr. Reload XXXXX. Spurs was the only team Jose didn't win a trophy at. It will be like Conte at Inter, except cut out the winning league part and fast forward him to him leaving after not being backed. I don't disagree with you. And just like you, I hope I'm wrong. Will, would you donate for some Kleenex for Bob for January? I don't know. I can donate some Kleenex, but what's going on in January for Bob? I'm missing it out. I'm missing out here. Let's see. Mark Cousins in the house. This is the rebirth of our club. I hope so. I hope so. My thoughts on Emerson in the last game against Manchester United. I thought he looked good. I'm pleasantly surprised that he's starting to... He still needs to work on his crossing. But some of his other work over there on the right-hand side is getting better and better each week. And that's good. Hopefully he gets even better under Conte. Fan power works. Levy was ball shaken by the fan. Disconnect stadium directed towards him. It does work. And that's why I want to see more fan power. You guys need to be going out there to the protest. You need to be getting out there and keep the pressure on Daniel Levy. Don't let this signing of Conte bring you guys down, bring the energy down, bring the focus down, because I'm going to tell you what, if the fan pressure doesn't stay, he's not going to back them. He's not going to give them the funds needed. We'll be back at square one, if not even worse. Right? Make sure that you keep that fan pressure on Daniel Levy. Keep it up. Every time we lose a match, home and away, Levy out chants need to be sung and be heard all over North London and England. Do not rest on your laurels. Keep the pressure high. Why is my mouse not working? Somehow I kicked myself out of my own stream. I don't know how that worked. My mouse got wonky. Or maybe just the app crashed. That could have been too. Seriously, though, Kessie and Vlahovic on their last year are sort of cheap options in January before they leave for free. With Conte, they seem like doable transfers that are in that budget. Vlahovic would be a great one. Kessie, pretty dang good as well. We need to see more defenders, though. We need to get Eric Dyer out of that back line. Sanchez not in it. Romero partnered with Rodin and one other person or two other people would be very just. And we need a right winger. We need a right winger. We need a right winger. We don't have one. We need one. Happy Spurs have signed a serial winner, but he needs to be backed in the market and needs to be allowed to jettison the rubbish out of the club. Delhi first out of the door. I agree with you, David. Mr. Ronan O'Donnell, good to see you back. Good to see you back. Conte passion will make a huge impact on our lazy players. I don't think that's going to be the case. The lazy players, you can't polish a turd. Just smears all over the place. But the players that we do have, there's one hope of Conte coming in that's going to be beneficial for the club, and that's maybe that he can probably get Harry Kane stopped down tooling the season. Conte's come in, and now the Don, who did a 3 out of 10 transfer window, will get Conte what he wants. I agree with you, Reload. I'm skeptical as well. Come from the state of Missouri. It's a show me state. You got to show me. Got to show me. Don Conte. Where is Matty Hayes nowadays? He's on Twitter. I don't know if he's streaming or not, but he's definitely still on Twitter. Good to see you again, Will. New Glorious THFC chapter is about to begin. I agree. I hope so anyway. Could be a good one. Conte, Mr. Cody Mack, my bald friend. Hope you're doing well at work today. Cody Mack is in the chat. Will, big up man. Chris, glad to see you. If you want to jump on the show, the link is pinned to the top. Clap thumbs up. Do you think that Levy was forced into making a change by Lewis/Enoch as they were witnessing the club value being in jeopardy of declining significantly as things were going? Could be. I hope that's the case. I hope he's under a lot of pressure. Evening all, exciting news. Been supporting Spurs for a long time to expect success, but it certainly gives us hope again. That is true. It does give you some hope. Newman S, what's up, my man? We have no business getting Conte. No, but we really don't. But I'm glad that he's in. My first choice over the summer was Conte. And then after that, with the other available options, Nuno was my second choice. Antonio Conte is definitely my first choice. Hopefully we can start seeing us play some 3 at the back. I've been pushing that for a long time. I thought Nuno was going to play that way. Unfortunately, he did not. He did not play that way. But hopefully we get to see that now. Emerson is quality. He's good. I want to see more quality from them attacking wise, though, before I rate him as high as I rate Reguilon. What's going up, Athelstan? I hope you're doing well. I've missed all of you guys. Chacha India Spurs. Romano says Conte didn't want to join Spurs, but Paratici changed his mind. I don't blame him. Romero and Emerson are quality. Lily White Lane, Robbie, how you doing, man? I hope you're doing well. Super chats, $5 coming in here from Swaff Pathek. We have a manager who is second at win rate, below Pep. Exciting times. Let's talk about how he will solve our problems. Want to listen Spurs all day. Well, I don't know about all day, but I will be on here for at least a few hours. It'll make it easier if people join the show, so go ahead and click that link at the top, and we will do that as well. Also, too, if you want to skip the line and jump up to the top, go ahead and throw a super chat in. I would have pulled that one up earlier, but I got kicked out of my own stream somehow. Romero is a specialist in a back three, played in a back three at Atlanta. I agree with you. I hope he does well. Højbjerg is overrated, to be honest. I don't think Højbjerg is overrated, to be honest. Hot take from Dietrich Kane here. In love with Emerson, but Højbjerg is overrated. Don't know what to say about that one, my friend. Don't think I agree with you. Question mark. I'm guessing that's when I jumped out. Exciting day. Excited to get a top tier coach, but even more than that, let's be happy. More than that, maybe this is a sign that we will spend money and get rid of our poor players. I don't know why I had a hard time reading that. Conte. I don't know what tune you're singing that to, so I can't sing along. Levy pulled the plug. He probably did. It's just hard to get excited anymore. Good hire, but means nothing if he's not backed by significant investment. I agree with you 10,000%. Right? This is going to be even more of an embarrassment if we do not sign. We need to be spending all of that 280 million pounds or 150 million pounds or 280 million euros, all the different formats that have been thrown around out there of how much money we're going to spend during the January transfer window. Needs to happen. Needs to happen. It must happen. Otherwise, it's like buying a Ferrari and not being able to afford the insurance or the gas. That's what we've done. Cody Mack, Dr. Levy. Dr. Levy. Dr. Levy. Dr. Levy. Diverge. Vlahovic will come in January. I hope he does. I hope he does. He better. That's exactly right, Jerry. You got to flush the turds. You don't polish them. That's exactly right. Paul Brown, only prediction of the future is the past. Unfortunately, I hope we can turn this statement on its head. I agree with you 100%. Look, we cannot get ahead of ourselves. We cannot let the pressure off. Otherwise, Daniel Levy will take the opportunity, any chance he has, of thinking that you guys are happy with him and what he's done. You got to focus. Got to keep the pressure on him over there. Need to be chanting him out. Back the manager Thursday night. I want to hear back the manager tonight. I want to hear you singing it hard, singing it loud. Thank goodness the beard is back. It's getting there. Still not as long as it used to be, but it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. I've also lost a bit of weight after that business trip. It was pretty busy. Mari from that Spurs episode in with a $4 supersat. Welcome back, King of Rants. First step done. Now pressure on Levy to back Conte. The power of fan pressure. That is true. Very, 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 very true. And thank you very much, Mari, for the $5. Trust me, as soon as your channel gets monetized, I'll be sharing that love right back at you, just like I do with everybody else. Mari from that Spurs episode. If you guys have not subscribed to this YouTube channel right here, make sure you go ahead and do that as well. Back up to the thing. Daryl Denton need to sell a Celso. I agree. Bergvine. I agree. Ali. Get at an Ericsson type. Hope Conte is ruthless. Stop giving players second chances. I agree. Scott Helper Football. I remember when St. Louis University was a football university powerhouse. Yeah, I'm from St. Louis too, but I don't remember St. Louis University being a football university powerhouse. But I hope they get back to that. That would be great. Long time, Will. You go away and we get Conte. Make this a thing. Hey, should I go away for another 10 days and hope we get Vlahovic? Danny the Bum back in the house, my friend. He's also a member too. That's what that little thing right there means. Beep, 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 beep. And if you actually go on YouTube and you look in the chat, it's probably got he's a captain now. That means he's been a member for a while. He's the captain of Will's Rangers. Chris is here. I'm working on the minutes on this time, man. Next time, though, I'll be on for a while. Make sure you jump on when you can. Danny Kiriakou, my bro. Big up Mari from that Spurs episode. Yes, big up Mari. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to his channel if you have not already. I feel bad for Nuno, though. Fans wanted one style of play. He wanted another. I don't necessarily feel bad for Nuno because I think he should have had a little bit more guts, a little bit more glory, a little bit more man smell to do what he wanted to do rather than kind of capitulating to the people above him. If three at the back, what would you think of Lucas as a wingback similar to a Hudson-Odoi, or would you place more centrally? I mean, we do have Emerson now. I also wouldn't mind seeing Bergwijn transition into that position if we wanted to be a little bit more attacking minded. But you got Tanganga now being able to move back into that right-handed side and back three. Romero in the middle, Roden on the left-hand side. That's the back three that I would like to see line up. That's who I would like to see line up. I don't know what's going on with Joe Roden. I don't know why he's not getting a shot. But we got to do better than Eric Dyer. We got to do better than Sanchez for sure, too. Although Sanchez in the back three may be a little bit better. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that. Light and thinks we're getting ahead of ourselves. We still got the same players, just not good enough. I agree with you. But I am happy that Conte's here. Yeah, why wouldn't I be? But I'll be even more happy if and when we get rid of the slop. Also out. Deli out. Winks out. Sanchez, Dyer out. Davies, retire. Who else? Bergwijn can go. Did I miss anyone? Throw it in there in the chat if I did. Spurs fan, Mr. Stewart. What's going on, my friend? Thanks for all your comments on YouTube. He will walk at the drop of a hat unless he's back. I agree. Then Levy will be proper. Fooked. I don't think that Levy will. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case. Right? I mean, the Levy inners are already out there singing his praises today and throwing sand in the rational side of things. Hello, Will. Højbjerg is not overrated, just not as mobile as some others. At last, a manager that will not put up with players not pulling their weight. At last. I hope you're right, Colin. Yes, Chris. Holly, welcome to the show. You're welcome to join on if you want. The link is pinned at the top. If you're too busy, I understand. I know it is a weird time, 7 p.m. over there in the UK. Well, I guess 7:30 now. 2:30 in the p.m. here. Dave, Conte wouldn't join without knowing for certain he'd be back. I don't think that's the case because people can always break the words. Right? I mean, Daniel Levy, he's not an honest guy. So he could say, I'll give you $300 million in the winter transfer window and then give him $3 million. Not past him. Not past him at all. Thursday night will be special. Yeah, I hope so. I might be wrong, but I think Vlahovic seems a bit overrated. No, you might be wrong, Stuart. Vlahovic is not overrated. I think if we don't jump on this and get him now, We will regret it royally. No, you watch a highlight reel. 99% of his goals, maybe tap ins and penalties. No, I don't think so. I think you might be wrong on that one. What cam should we get in January? What cam? Like this kind of cam? Canon M6 Mark II. Center attacking midfielder. I don't know. It's a good question. To be honest with you, I've been so focused and concerned on our right winger that I haven't even given thought about it. Especially if he starts playing a 3-4-3. I know he likes the 3-5-2. But even still, right-sided, we don't have anybody. I guess Lucas Moore can play in the middle of that right-sided thing. But if he plays with more than one defensive midfielder, I'm going to be a little bit upset. Should be Højbjerg. Højbjerg, like out of the players we got now before the January transfer window, if I pull up and if I were to do my starting 11, although Kane needs to be sat, I would like to give him a few more games under Conte to see if he stops down tooling before I bench him. But if he continues to play the way he has played, he needs to be benched, and then you run Son and Moore up on top. But Son and Kane up on top at first. In my midfield, we would have Højbjerg, Ndombele, Mora, Reguilon, Emerson, Romero in the middle, Tanganga or Sanchez on the right, and Dyer Roden on the left. That's who I'd start playing. Phil Ambrose, evening, Will. You have not been on, I'm guessing that means YouTube, much, really. Or if I just missed your videos. No, I have been gone. I was gone for 10 days on a business trip. Once I get a little bit closer caught up to my questions, I'll go into that. But you guys are rocking the chat here. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't subscribed already. That's how you can be activated in the chat. Jump in the chat, ask us questions. Just hit that red subscribe button. That's it. As soon as you hit that red subscribe button, you'll be able to chat in the chat with everybody else, asking me questions, doing all that fun stuff. Go ahead, that like button too, if you wouldn't. Hit the like button. That'll help send the video out to other folks. And we can get this show a rocking and a popping. Happy to have you back, Will. Big up. Thank you. Big up to you, my friend, James Joris. Here in the United States, the Spurs fan, Nuno was walked with a tidy sum of totally failing as much as Levy's fault, too. I think it was all Levy's fault and the players' fault. I really don't blame Nuno. Yes, in that last match, subbing out Lucas Moura was ridiculous. Not starting Reguilon was ridiculous. There had to have been reasons why he had it done, but it's unexcusable. That was a dumb move by Nuno. Other than that, though, I blame the players far more, and then I blame the manager. Yes, Danny, my bro, looks like we're all wrong about Conte. I mean, who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? I'm sure Conte only signed if he had assurances over a significant amount of money. Right, but like I said, just because somebody said that, gave him assurances, doesn't mean those assurances are going to happen. We need to keep the pressure on Daniel Levy. We have to keep the pressure hot. Summer transfer window, I think it's positive looking, hopeful. I hope I will start to forgive Daniel Levy after once all of our deadwood are gone and we have players, ready-made players, none of this youth crap for the future, players who will come in the door and impact our starting 11 right away. That's what I'm looking for. That's the only way I forgive Daniel Levy. Yep, lots and lots of salty rivals crying about us. Conte, it just makes it even more enjoyable. That is true. Yes, Davies retire. Davies needs to retire. I agree. Rodon should be in the mix for back three. Rodon, Tanganga, and Romero. Rodon would be a good balance to Romero. I agree with you. Tanganga, aggressive nature. I agree with you. No problem, Holly. I understand. In fact, my son has training later tonight. Glad to be back. I've watched a couple of your shows lately as well. You're still doing a good job. All this talk from fans saying we will be top four. Let's be logical. I would love to see it, but the truth is we got too many players to get rid of. That is true, but the only thing that I'm going to say is that if Harry Kane stops down tooling, gets back into form, back into gear, back into scoring, twos and threes, on a regular basis, we have a shot. We're only 5 points out of top four. In fact, we could have moved in the top four last weekend if we would have beaten United. Maybe it's a good thing that we didn't, because we do have Conte now. And even though I was a fan of Nuno, or I preferred Nuno over the other options that were available in the summer, I'm glad. Conte was always my first choice in the summer. You can go back to my channel and look if you don't agree with me, right? I'm catching a lot of flack because I was supporting Nuno. Everybody, there's still people out there trying to push for Graham Potter, and I'm like, we've got Conte now. Why are we even talking about Potter anymore? Conte, the Conte way or the highway, I agree with you. Like the stream, show your support for Will. I agree with Poybier right there. Do exactly that. The best Pierre in London. Would anyone turn up to watch a testimonial for Ben Davies? What kind of testimonial are we talking about for Ben Davies? What kind of testimony? This kind? Ben Davies! Retire now! We never want to see your face again. Only Alex does. But anyway. Let's see. I would AE just to launch bricks at him. What does that mean? I can't wait to see Conte's treatment of Davies, Dele Alli, and Winks. I agree with you 1,000,000%. Man, I'm way behind. You guys are gonna have to start hitting up some super chats if you want to get your comments in. Excuse me, I should have muted myself. My throat's not used to this. I gotta get used to back to broadcasting mode. Alex Wood at the sign. That is true. I hadn't thought about that angle. They waited for you to come back to announce Conte. That is true. That was very kind of them. It was very kind of them, Martin. Can't blame Nuno. He was way out of his depth. I agree with you, Pete. Do you struggle to accept how phenomenally wrong you are? Who are you talking to? You're talking to me. When have I ever been wrong? Tell me how I'm wrong other than simply stating it. AE, just a thought, Conte will definitely make some players train with under 23s. I hope so. Lamella and Nuno. What are you talking about? I wasn't wrong about Lamella. And I wasn't wrong about Nuno either. Where does Levy get all the money from? Lewis? I don't know. I don't know where he gets it from. We've got money, though. That's where he gets it from. If Levy didn't keep his promises, Conte will walk. He's done it before, and he don't care. Maybe not a verbal assurance, but a clause in a contract. I don't know. Come on, you Spurs. That is right. Come on, you Spurs. At Jam. Hi. Danny, I'm at work, man. I'm working from home. I would, man. Jam, Conte gonna have boxing matches with Winks and Dele. I hope so. We have what? could be considered a favorable schedule through the end of December. Bring 2 or 3 matches. If Conte brings Spurs a trophy, he is forever the best manager to ever live. I agree with you, and I hope he does. We're going to need more players, though. That's going to be a hard thing to do without players. Højbjerg needs to be captain. He's the only leader on the pitch right now other than Lloris, who isn't as effective as a captain in goal. I agree with you. I agree. And let's see. The other guy who likes to be rational and reasonable, drinking his coffee. Not Michelle.
Yes, WillStewartTHFCRants. How you doing, my man? You good?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Doing good. So how are you feeling today about the news? It's final now. It's official now. No, when do we start talking about how long he's going to be here before he walks out?
Look, I like I said yesterday on my show, I think it's a win-win situation. The way I saw the fans react in the stadium was like, oh yeah, finally, everyone has arrived, and it shook up Daniel Levy, and he's made a big bold move. For me, if he backs Conte, we're gonna win trophies. If he doesn't back Conte, then we know 120%, not you and me, but the entire fan base, it's all on Levy. And Levy's toast. He cannot survive not backing Conte. So you might be right. He might not back him and Conte walks out, but then Levy's done. And we start from scratch. If he does back Conte, we're gonna cause some damage.
Well, no, I mean, people are already, though, the Levy inners are already latching on to Conte's statement, saying that it was, he was impressed by Daniel Levy's resilience, right? So, I mean, yeah. Latched on to that. I saw your comment on that exact same post earlier today. I don't think I didn't say that.
Yeah, like, they're idiots, these. Listen, so it's funny, they'll say those comments, but they won't mention the fact that we hired Nuno and sat Nuno. That's all forgotten, is it? The fact that we're
no, it doesn't. No,
it's like these guys are crazy. Yeah, look, just like Nuno came into the club and he made that speech. We're going to make you proud, so proud. That speech that Conte said today was all written out for him. It's all been well worded. The PR team are doing their bit. Conte's just like, okay, yeah, it's part of my job. I'll say that. But if he doesn't get what he wants, Conte's going to be saying a lot of different things, and he's not going to hold back. So yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the press conferences. I'm looking forward to him calling the deadwood out, because Conte does that. I don't know if the players are ready for that.
Of course they're not ready. They're in trouble. Do you honestly believe, Will, that Levy's not going to back him? Do you really think he won't do it?
I think it's going to be. I can't believe it until I see it.
Yeah,
and by backing, I don't mean like, okay, it's like if we get Kessie and Vlahovic or something like that, okay, that's cool. But if we start buying some more Hills and SARs, even though SAR, players for the future, I'm going to lose my crap. So I really am going to lose my crap.
The only way we get away buying Hills and SARs is if he buys Vlahovic's, Kessi's, Bruno Fernandez's alongside them. That's the only way you're going to get away with that. You've got to buy 3 established quality players ready now alongside any up-and-coming ones. If you just buy up-and-coming ones and one good player, forget it. Yeah. We're all going to lose our shit, Will. I'm going to lose it as well because
I'm going to lose it. And then Pete the Yid says, Pete the Yid here asks, who would be your first signing in January? Who would be your first signing in January still?
Okay, if we're going to assume he's going to play 3 at the back, 2 wing backs high up, 3 in the middle, 2 up top,
I guess you can play Son, Kane, Moura. You got 3 out of the 2 up top, so you wouldn't need to buy there. Wing backs, I think we're right actually, because there's quite a few options. Whether they're good enough, I don't know. See, the thing is, Will, it's so hard to tell because, like, everyone latches on to Victor Moses. Oh, look what he did with Victor Moses at Chelsea. So everyone's assuming now he's going to turn Doherty and Bergwijn into amazing wing backs that play high up the pitch, and I'm not convinced. But let's say he does. Let's say he does convert them into these really good players. Then you don't need to buy those positions. So it's hard to tell. I do think we need another quality centre-back. I do think we need a proper centre-back to go next to Romero, because Tanganga and Rodon are probably still a little bit too young. So I'd buy a top centre-back. If we can get Skriniar, brilliant. And I would probably say, I think we need a player that can just link the defence to the attack. So someone like Hussam Aouar, someone of that level that can play the Eriksen role. They're the 2 key positions I think he's going to need, because I don't think we've got that quality in people say Lo Celso and Ndombele, but they always fucking let us down. So
Yeah, no, to be honest with you, I don't even like Ndombele. I haven't seen anything from Ndombele that really even makes me excited, even when he's playing the full 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's okay, but no, I'd like to see. Look, I think that if Lucas Moura played, like say on that right hand side in those middle 3, I think that you would probably see a little bit more progress. But even he's unpredictable, right? He's not consistently, active, or I guess you could say consistently productive. But for me too, I wouldn't mind seeing like a Vlahovic come in. You have Kane and Vlahovic up top. Son playing on the left side of that middle 3, because Son can play that box to box role as well as striker. So
great managers turn players into the position that they think the player will best suit the system they want. So yeah, why not? If it works for what Conte wants to do, then, Mourinho turned Harry Kane into a deep creative player, because it worked for him.
Yeah. I mean, or even you could have Kane drop in and be that link. You know what I mean?
If we do that though, Will, if we do drop Kane into that role, then I think we need to buy another striker.
For sure. Vlahovic. I think we need to buy another striker anyway, because we don't have a backup, really, right?
I think there's going to be a lot of loan deals. We're not going to buy a lot of players because it's so hard to buy players. I think there's going to be a lot of loan deals, probably from Italy, because that's the market Conte and Paratici know inside out. And then players that we actually buy, I think we're going to have to wait till the summer next year, which is why we should have got Conte in the summer. But
yeah, we should have.
We
should have got him in the summer. It would have been a lot easier. I think we probably would have gotten the Vlahovic deal across the line. I just don't want to see people playing games. I don't want to see people playing games this January transfer window, pushing deals all the way into February, nickel and diamond teams. Let's just get the job done, right? I'm so tired of playing games and goofing around. I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to play Daniel Levy games, being linked to 900 players with Paratici, and then none of them coming to fruition and end up signing 5 young kids and 1 good player. I don't have the patience for that this January again. I don't. We all saw that. Everybody said that all of these young players, Hill, they were all going to come good. They haven't. They haven't. Right? So, yeah, they may be good in the future. Maybe Conte can get a better tune out of them than Nuno did. Hopefully that's true. But they didn't. But the Spurs fan, £5, get a drink on me, Will. I will do that. I have some in my fridge. I'll do that.
Someone just paid you £5 to walk to your fridge.
That's right. I appreciate that. You can pay me £5 to walk to my fridge all day long.
That's a great fan.
Yeah, I love him. He's good. And then What's some other people saying? Bob Spurd has a comment here. Step 1, finally bringing the best available out there after 20 years of ownership. Done. Step 2, back him. Help him put a successful blueprint into play. Over to you, Levy. Look, I understand that people are trying to like brush Jose Mourinho off as being past his prime when he came in. But he's a far more successful manager than Conte is now. Conte may be at a bit different point in his career. But we didn't back Jose. But you can't tell me that Jose didn't get assurances that money was going to be spent. If he does the same thing to Conte,
If you don't need anything from us, then let me know.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
I don't think the pressure was on Levy like it is this time round. I don't think that the fans were as angry and fed up. I think sacking Jose before the cup final really wound people up more. And I think that bringing in Ryan Mason and then spending 2 months to find Nuno, who he ended up sacking him, fans are just fed up now. They're at that point where enough's enough. And watching Arsenal improving just makes it worse. So I think this time, I think it's different.
Did I miss something in my...
It has to be different. It has to be. Otherwise, Levy's finished.
100%. I hope Levy's finished. I hope that's the case. But I just hope people don't try and make excuses for him. Oh, Conte's attitude, right? That's the problem with Conte's personality. There's so many ways in which you could spin this to say it was his fault, not Levy's. That's what makes me nervous. You know what I mean?
Fans are fed up with the players. Fans are fed up with the changing of manager. Fans are fed up of the promises and the DNA and the we're gonna, unfinished business and the chairman not putting enough money in the club. Fans are fed up. They've had enough, and that's why it erupted in that stadium against Man United. So we will see. Listen, you never know with us. We could easily throw Conte under a bus. We've got it in us to do it.
Oh yeah, we do. But Dietrich, Kane, did I have something? Does Reguilon want to leave the club now all of a sudden? What happened? Why on earth would we get rid of Sergio Reguilon?
I think there was a story that Real Madrid wanted him back, and they've got a clause: if they pay 40 million, they can get him back in the summer. I think there was rumors that Real Madrid wanted him back.
Okay. Yeah, but he has to agree to go back and do all that stuff. But they do. This will be the last year that that clause is in effect. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Gil at left wing back? No, he weighs 10 pounds. Even Reguilon's small outweighs him. Mr. Simos Funk, we got Conte. Arsenal's in trouble now. Glad to see you, my friend.
Chelsea just scored. That's the player we should have got, Hakim Ziyech.
Yes, Hakim Ziyech is good. Chelsea has a lot of really good players. I don't understand. I don't think people understand the depth that Chelsea has. A lot of depth.
Do you know what amazes me with Chelsea? Their older players still play at a high level. They don't kind of tail off.
Ben Davies, you can retire.
I heard conversation on Sky Sports today. They were doing like a tactical animation of what a potential Conte team would look like, and they're putting Davis in a back three. And I'm thinking,
why?
Who gave you a job? How are you allowed to work for the biggest sports media company in this country and tell people that Ben Davis would go in a back? I'd rather, if we go to a back three and we don't buy any players, I want to see Tanganga, Romero, Rodon.
I do too. That's what I want to see. I said the exact same thing earlier in the show. Exact same thing. The exact same thing. I don't want to see Dyer or Sanchez in there. You can use them as backups. I want to get out of. I want all of those players gone. In fact, I would like every player except maybe even possibly Harry Kane if he continues to down tool. Out except for Son.
Yeah.
Son would be the only Poch era player that I'd like to keep. The only one.
Pretty much. The rest don't cut it anymore.
No, they do not. I've been so upset with them over that. It's not even funny. But I don't know, getting a lot of comments now off of that. Don't want to see Davies and Dyer, Doherty, or Winks Daily. I don't, yeah, any of the D's, the 4 D's.
The 4Ds.
Levy's back. Is against the wall now. If he does not back Conte, he walks. And I promise to you, White Hart Lane is going to be filled with blood. That's a little harsh, but it's a little dark there, Rico.
The only downside of this current situation is we've left it so late to get our act together, and this is potentially get our act together because we don't know yet, that we've allowed all the other clubs to strengthen. Like, there's so many good managers in the Premier League now with good teams. Tuchel, Pep, Klopp, West Ham. Say what you want. West Ham are such a good team. Leicester are kind of wobbling. Arsenal are improving. Man United, if they change the manager and they get the right manager, they'll be good. It's just it's harder now than ever before. This should have all been done over the last 3-4 years. You know, we're bringing in Conte at a time when it's probably the hardest ever to win the Premier League.
I just turned my lights off for some reason. This thing's driving me nuts.
Thanks for watching the show, everyone. We're just slowly winding it down. Taking you through.
There we go. No, my little Stream Deck thing, for I guess because it's been on for 10 days and I didn't shut off. It just, yeah, now it's working. Good.
Yeah, it's so hard now, Will. There's a lot of competition in the Premier League.
Yeah, there is a lot of competition in the league, but I mean, luckily some teams like Leicester's fallen off. People are saying that Arsenal's looking better. I don't. They always do this, though. I don't understand why everybody's on this Arsenal train. Every season, Arteta's gotten them to go on this little run, right? It happened at the end of last season. It happened the season before that. They're still going to finish 8th. They are.
Yeah, look, Arsenal, they're 2 or 3 injuries away from a crisis. The only good thing for Arsenal this season that's helping them is they don't have European football. Not playing midweek means they can rest the players, and that is helping them at the moment. But the flip side to that, and I remember this because I was watching NBA basketball years ago, and one team had more games on the road than the other team, and they said, oh, the team on the road's going to be so tired, and the team that doesn't have as many games on the road won't be as tired, and when they play, the team that's on the road, they're going to lose because... And what happened was the team on the road won because there was more frequency. They were playing more games. They got into like a momentum. They got into a stride, and they took that into the game, and they caught the other team off guard. So the flip side to Arsenal is if you play like one game a week, you've got to wait a whole week to play another game. Whereas if you do have a game in the middle of the week, you keep practicing your formation in a live game. You keep practicing how you play in a live game. So
yeah,
you can look at it from 2 ways. But I think at the moment, I think it's helping Arsenal. But what big clubs have they played?
Not a lot yet. Just looking at their list of play.
They haven't played United. They haven't played Liverpool.
Let's see.
They beat us. City battered them. Chelsea. Have they played Chelsea?
I think they played Chelsea and lost. They lost to Brentford. They lost 2-0 Chelsea. They lost 5-0 to City. They beat Norwich. They beat Burnley. They beat us. They drew with Brighton. They drew with Crystal Palace. They beat Villa and they beat Leicester. That's it. So they haven't played any big teams.
They've still got to play Man United. They've still got to play Liverpool. They've still got to play West Ham.
Yep.
Yeah. See, we've. I think the only team we've got left to play is Liverpool.
Yeah, we've played all of them. We don't play Liverpool, I think, until December.
We've played West Ham. We've played Man City. We've played Chelsea. We've played United. It's just that's it. We've got Liverpool left to play. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, let me see.
I tell you what, Will, watching West Ham, they're just a well-structured side.
They are.
David Moyes is doing a good job there. He's doing a very good job. The thing is, though, if you told Spurs fans 2 years ago we're going to bring in David Moyes, we would have gone crazy.
Yeah, we would have gone crazy. I don't. David Moyes, I wouldn't have brought him in here. I think he's just. I think he's gotten a good tune, and they bought in some decent players. The recruiting's been better than ours over the last 2 or 3 years. So
everyone's recruiting has been better than ours over the last 2-3 years. Everyone buys better than us.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We too, like, I think that the hardest thing about Nuno is I think it showed we have no depth at all in our squad. None.
No.
When we get injured, one injury up top sends us into a whirlwind of pain and agony. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't have cover up top. We don't have cover at centre back. We don't have cover at holding mid. You know, if Højbjerg or Skip gets injured, who comes in? Winks. You know, there's no one to come in. No one can do what Son does. People keep talking about Hill. I've seen good moments from Hill, but that's it. Hill hasn't done anything yet, really.
No, he hasn't. And like even Emerson too, he's been good, getting better each week. But attacking wise, especially if we're going to be playing in a 3-5-2 where the wingbacks are extremely important in the attack, I'm a little bit worried about him.
It's hard to tell with him because we haven't seen enough, and it's hard to judge a lot of these players at the moment because the way we were playing under Nuno was so bad. Will, here's a question for you: how much of the blame do you put this season on the manager, and how much do you put it on the current group of players?
60%, 65% on players.
So you blame the players more than the manager?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. For instance, I don't know why he played Davies over Reguilon this past weekend, but he did. And I don't think that he sent him in to misread a header and then play a man on side. I mean, what is a left back doing deeper than his center backs anyway in a line? How long has Davies been playing football? He's not a young kid.
No.
When you're teaching shape defensively, is the left back ever supposed to be deeper than your center backs? No. And where was Dyer not telling him to get forward? It's not like the ball was even on his side. It wasn't even under pressure. So, I mean, is that Nuno's fault that Davies is an idiot? I don't know. Davies, is that Nuno's fault that you're an idiot since you're in the chat?
Does a better manager get more out of the players? If you're blaming the players more than the manager, which is fair enough, but does a better manager get more out of the players?
No.
See,
Better manager doesn't. I don't think he gets a better tune out of Ben Davies.
I think there's certain players though that he would that aren't. I think Kane and Son, a better manager gets more out of them for sure. I think Reggie has been ostracized. He's not being used to his true potential. I think Tanganga and Rodon have almost been squeezed out the team at the moment. And I also think that I've said it so many times, Lucas Moura's best position is not out wide, it's down the middle. So I think a better manager will get a better tune out of the players. What I don't believe is that a better manager is going to improve Doherty and Ben Davies. If he comes in and makes Doherty and Ben Davies really important players in this team, I'll be stunned.
I don't think he's going to get a better tune out of Davies. I don't think he'll get a better tune out of Dyer. I don't think he'll get a better tune out of Sanchez. I don't think that he'll get a better tune out of Harry Winks. I don't think that he'll get a better tune. I think the only person that I can see right now having a significant upturn in performance would be Harry Kane.
What about Bergwijn and Dele Alli?
No. I mean, what did Bergwijn and Dele Alli do under Jose Mourinho? If Jose Mourinho couldn't get a tune out of these guys, I don't think that Conte is going to get a tune out of them.
I think out of Jose, though, we were too defensive. We were too defensive in certain games. Like when we went to Wolves,
didn't have a defense, right? We didn't have players who could actually defend, and so you have to cover for the weaknesses in the back line, and that back line is still there.
See, so this is the argument, right? When you know your defense isn't good, there's two ways you can compensate. You can put everyone deep and make it very difficult to break through, or you can be over-attacking and say, right, we just need to score more goals than them. We know we're going to let in 3, but we need to score 4 kind of thing. So it's almost the Wild West. And I think the way Mourinho did it, it just sucked the life out of the attacking side of some of the players. But in some games, it worked perfectly. You know, when we had Arsenal at Spurs, when we played Man City, it worked perfectly. But in other games, Wolves away, I think there was another game at home, Liverpool, it was a disaster. So this is why I like Conte. If you watch the way Conte plays, he's not pragmatic. He sets the team up to be defensively difficult to break down.
Yeah.
But he also has the players positioned to attack you and hurt you the right way. I think Conte actually has a nice balance.
I hope you're right. But Mr. Bob, what do you think now that it...
Players have to do as he says, though. Players must do what he says. That's the only sticking point.
Mr. Bob, what do you think now that it's done? It's a done deal.
Bob Spurt in the house.
Good. Yeah, it's all about... I know what you're saying, Will. I don't think anyone's really expecting him to come in and make Dyer or Winks or Davis world-class players. But what I'm expecting, and I think what we're all expecting is him to bring in his more modern style of winning football rather than Jose's, and make the better players fit into a better system. Like you say, I think Kane will strive. I think Højbjerg will strive. I think there's a place down the right wing back for Bergwijn. I really do believe that. I said that last time we were about to get him.
I thought he was going to put. I think he needs to be moved there as well.
Yeah. I actually thought when Nuno took over, he was going to go with a back 3 as usual, and
I did too.
And give Bergwijn a bit. But yeah. So I thought, but yeah, I think to expect anything, if he gets a tune out of the likes of Ali and Winks and Dyer, has gone far and beyond my expectation. My expectations are high.
I'll be stunned.
But we can't see it. If anything, he'll probably be a bit more authoritative with regards to getting him out of the club. He probably won't stand for the whole let's give him a try. I don't think there's a clean slate as such with. So you got to remember when he left the Premier League a few years ago, he left Spurs in an okayish position. He's come back and 60% of the squad is still there. So I don't think there's any surprise to some of the players that he's taken in. But I do expect him to work out a system for our better players: Harry Kane, a Winks, a Sonny, a Lucas, a Højbjerg, a Skip potentially. Although there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, Skip is a Conte person." A Romero, a Reguilon, the other 2 centre backs. I know Stell's thinking Tanganga might strive off him. Rodon. So if we were to bring anyone in, I got Lloris, Reguilon, and Bergwijn as attacking wing backs. Rodon, Romero, and a Dyer in the back 3. I've got Højbjerg, and then whoever you want to out of the attacking, potential or players that we've got, put ahead of him. Obviously, that's.
I still don't know if we do though. In a 3-5. In the 3-5-2, it makes me worried. We don't. Ndombele and Lo Celso aren't good. They're not good.
Would they get in the side? That's the thing. I think there's more chances of Lo Celso getting ahead of Ndombele right now, especially if he
Lo Celso
wants.
was horrible on the weekend.
Yeah, he was. But then again, we're looking at
The whole
him.
team was.
Yeah. There's a big gulf in class with regards to what Nuno can bring to the team and Conte. And the biggest thing for me is respect. Nuno going into a changing room and saying, "Come on, boys, make us proud, make us proud." I can't do a Nuno accent. In comparison to a Jose going in and demanding everything, and a Poch going in to demanding everything, it's completely different. Conte coming in after a Nuno, I think will get that respect level that the players want to give.
Conte is above Poch, Jose.
I'd say that. Yeah,
Nuno,
I agree with that.
he's the best. He's the best manager in his prime that Spurs have ever signed.
Yeah,
in the last 25, 30 years.
I mean, he better be. That's all
He
I'm
is.
saying. And then you got to back him. Then you got to back
for
him.
Levy's sake, you're right, mate. For Levy's sake, he needs to be backed. He needs to be backed because otherwise, there's no get out clause. There's no benefit of a doubt. Levy hasn't got that anymore. You know, he's cornered. He's finally heard the fans shout his name after 21 years, and that got to him. He shat his pants, man. He shat his pants. And if that chant has led to Nuno being sacked and Conte being brought in and Conte being promised the world, I believe the penny has dropped. But like anything, it's a wait and see, isn't it? We won't know.
I mean, what do you think about what Stinky has to say here? It says the one thing about bringing in Conte and does shift the focal point of the blame to Kane instead of Levy. If Kane doesn't perform under Conte, he'll get the wrath of the fans and Levy will look better. Smart move. And with that, we've got the bun.
What's going on? Piss off,
Oh,
Bob.
for fuck's sake.
But don't you got to eat the bun now, Danny? You went kind of hard in on he's not coming.
But do you know what? It's still, yeah, it's shocking that.
Sorry,
we've got
Danny.
him.
Sorry to interrupt. Why have you got your name down as Stinky?
No, it's not. That's the
comment.
Oh, sorry, man. I'm like,
That's all right.
why are you calling yourself?
Stinky.
Good name. I actually should do that. Actually,
Stinky.
No, but-
I just had a Spursy moment. Jesus.
It's all right. It happens to the best of us.
I think it's like a lot of people, a lot of us have said it, right? Conte coming in means fuck all right now. It literally means fuck all.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You could bring in Pep Guardiola. You could bring in Jurgen Klopp. You could bring in Zinedine Zidane. You could bring in Pele from the dead. It won't make a difference. Like until he's backed, that's when we will see a difference. If he's not backed, it's the same shit's going to happen again at Spurs, and then we'll be here in 18 months' time. They would have sacked him because he hasn't achieved because he wasn't backed. And then the fans will go absolutely nuts on Levy. So like Stel said, like everyone has said, it's a win-win regardless because he's done this because the fans started to finally turn on him and he heard it and he's never heard that in 20 years in the stadium. And that's the first time he's ever heard Levy out in the stadium. And that shook him and 100% shook him. Yeah. And I think that's exactly why he needed to like, he's like, fuck, I've actually... He dug himself into a hole by doing this whole managerial situation. When he started digging himself into a hole is the day that he didn't back Poch when Poch asked him to back him and he didn't sign a single player in the summer window. That window where Grealish was the only player we went for and we didn't even get him. That was when it started for him. And it's been a downhill spiral since that moment with the team and with Poch and with all the managerial changes and everything that the decisions that they've made. That was when it started. So now he's so far behind that he has to back him. I can't see any other way Conte comes to this club, right, to ruin his reputation because Daniel Levy doesn't want to give him some money to buy some top quality players. I just can't see it. It's the only thing I can think of, that reason why he would come. Why else would he come? Because end of the day, he could have just waited a few more weeks and Man United would have come in for him probably. Do you know what I mean? I'll guarantee you, Man United will sack Ollie very soon. Within this season, I reckon Ollie's gone. Because Dr. Tottenham comes along, we give him a good result. They get a bit happy again.
It was all planned.
It was all planned. It was all planned. Dr. Tottenham comes along, gives them the 3-0 victory, and then he's safer in a job again. He'll probably go and lose the next 2 games, and they're like, do you know what? We're going to sack him now. And then
a bit of breaking news as well from Sky Italy and Sky. Conte's work permit is expected to take a few days, and he may not be on the Spurs bench for the Vitesse game.
What
the
did I
aim is
say?
to have him
What did I
the aim
say?
is
What
to
a
have him,
surprise. What a surprise.
this weekend.
Go back to your channel, Bob.
Danny,
I
we
said-
need to get a refund, mate.
Yeah, I'll get a refund. I might as well.
Customer
Mate.
services. Hey, what did I say? Ryan Mason would be in charge for the first couple of games.
Yeah. Said that, yeah.
Not because I never thought because of this. I thought it'd take longer to get Conte, but
That's
that's-
definitely a stated to buy a ticket ploy again, isn't it? He's done it again.
Yeah.
He's done it again.
We've all bought tickets for Thursday still. Me, Danny, Kim, about 7 YouTubers from We Are Tottenham TV. We're all going now.
I'm going Thursdays. Oh, mate. So,
Yeah,
so what?
yeah,
Mason's
yeah.
in charge.
It's got to be. Who else is going to be in charge?
Oh, we're going out the European Cup. Fuck me.
It's a must-win. It's a must-win.
Nah, Conte will be there by Thursday, surely.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think Daigle mentioned something. Surely there's something. It's not a case of going into the office and saying, right, I've got a permit, right, I'm just going to take the team on. Surely there's got a bit of 24-hour gap, or put the paperwork in, got to process the paperwork. It's not a case of him getting the permit on the Thursday morning and him taking the team on the Thursday evening. I can't see that.
Can he not sit in the stands as a supporter and and give instructions down as a supporter?
Venables did that away to Wimbledon in 90. I can't remember now. We were 1-0 down, and he wasn't in charge. It was Livermore, wasn't it? And he went in at half time. He popped his head in, made a few changes, and we came flying out. Barnby scoring a header, a wicked header, making it 1-1.
Yeah.
So,
They'll find a way around it. They'll find.
We
a
got
way.
this little this just popped up on Twitter too about 6 minutes ago, so I figure we'll throw it up there.
My message for our fans is only one. I will do everything to deserve their support.
I have no idea what he just said.
My message for our fans
A message for our fans
is only one.
is there's only one.
I will do everything to deserve their support.
He'll do everything to deserve our
we will make you
support.
proud.
Their support, yeah.
We will make you proud. That's all he had to say.
That's his message to the fans. 17 seconds. I'll do everything to earn your support.
When are they'll probably release the full interview soon, won't they?
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, it's probably on YouTube. I just grabbed that one off Twitter.
What the hell was that? I will do it.
I will do anything, but I won't do that.
I will do everything to deserve your support, but we're going to support you ever.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
But yeah.
Can't he just say, I will do my best to win the Premier League, the Champions League, and for you to be, fans
Because he knows he
that win
can't.
trophies? Can't he say something like that?
Because he knows he can't. Just do want to remind people too, we're about an hour and 20 minutes into the show. If you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button. If you want to join in the chat, only subscribers are allowed to chat in the chat. So make sure you do that. Want to ask questions to Danny, to Bob, and to Stell or myself. Also to hit that like button if you haven't already. If you're watching on Twitter or Facebook or over there on Twitch, check out the YouTube page as well. And if you are watching on YouTube and you haven't checked out Facebook, Twitch, or the other ones, go ahead and do that as well.
These Malmo
What's,
fans are
what's your
lively,
guys? What's your guys' thoughts on Emery potentially going to Newcastle?
I think that's a good move for him.
It's better. Yeah, it's better than what they've got.
Yeah,
I think that's a perfect move. I think it's a perfect move for them.
yeah.
I think because he actually's done better than Arteta.
Yeah.
He's done much better than Arteta did, or has been
Yeah.
doing.
And he's done a decent job at over in Spain. So
He'll probably get some good players. I even heard talks that I saw some reports that Eden Hazard, Real Madrid have said they don't want him no more. They want him gone in January window, and there's talks that Newcastle might try go for him.
Dele Alli's got Newcastle written all over.
They can go and take all the has-beens, kind of all the players that are injury prone, all the players that used to be good and not good in the moment, and hope that they can come good again, mate. I don't mind that. Take Hazard, take Dele Alli, take them all.
Yeah, man.
Take Harry Winks as well. Yeah,
Davies,
we'll chuck in
Dyer.
Davis for free.
Yeah.
Sanchez,
we'll
Buy
sell 'em
two,
all-
get
we'll
one
sell 'em
free.
our whole
We'll do them a
team.
deal.
Ryan.
That's right, Ben
Sessegnon.
Davies. You're going.
I wonder what
Yeah.
happens to Ryan Sessegnon under Conte.
Oh, what? Sorry.
I wonder what happens to Ryan Sessegnon under Conte.
I think
'cause
he'll use him as a wing back.
he's never really played for us, has he?
No, but he's always gets injured every time he's been at Spurs. He's always injured. He's still injured now.
What was he? Is he our third or fourth most expensive player we've ever signed, or something like that? He's on top
Something
8,
like that.
You know,
Who?
so you know Ryan Sessegnon.
Sessegnon.
I spoke to the guys at Spurs, and they said when he was 10, they wanted to get him and his brother both into
That's right.
Spurs,
Yeah.
but they couldn't, and he ended up him and his brother being at Fulham, and then the club then brought them in when we got him. We got Sessegnon when he was what 19, 20, something like that.
19, I think, or 18.
Yeah, and we got him in, and then they complained that his development at Fulham wasn't good enough, and that he was lacking certain things that Spurs would have done with his development. So the question I've got is, why did you buy him then?
Where's the due diligence? Yeah.
Why have you? So because you fancied him, it's like, oh, she's really fit. I like her. 10 years later, she's put on weight. She's lost a tooth. Yeah, let's go in for her because she was fit when she was like 21. It's like, hold on a minute. What are you doing here, man? What's Spurs doing? It's like
That's all coming.
Well,
man.
I'd still be single if my wife had that attitude. So
oh, I am single because I do have that attitude. So I'm not preaching from some high level. But you just wonder. And then Poch is told, oh yeah, we've bought this player, we've been after him for 10 years, make it work. And then he gets sacked 3 months later because he can't make it work. And then the club's actually complaining that they bought a dud. You know, this is the kind of shit that has to stop under Conte. And you know what? It's Conte that needs to put a stop to it. He needs to just push the door.
You see, do you know what I was quite annoyed about last season?
This is not how you run the club. And if you're going to carry on doing this shit, I'm done. Don't ever make a move like that. This is where Conte needs to put his
look, I'd be a lot happier about this signing, about bringing him in, that if instead of that 17 second clip of him saying, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make the fans happy. You want to do whatever it takes to make the fan happy, then I want you to come out and say, half our squad is shit. I'll fix it. Trust me. That's what I want to hear. That's what will make me happy, Mr. Conte, for watching the show. Right?
Yeah.
Half the squad shit. I'm going to get rid of them. Trust me. All right? That's what I want to hear.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's already said that. I think that's probably one of his demands. I don't think he'll get involved in the selling, but he'll make it pretty clear he wants
I want to hear it, though.
Yeah.
I want it public.
I think we'll see.
It won't go public until the actual players are sold. That's when you know it's public. It won't ever come out.
He'll say something collectively. He'll say, like, you know, we've moved on. The players who didn't fit into my system have moved on. Listen, the players need to adapt to him. You know, even Jose kind of looked at the players and then tried to one thing we always lacked was identity, and I know Sel's going to get pissed off for that, but we never had a definitive system.
I don't get
We
it.
never had a definitive way of playing. We didn't have a definitive identity in JD. We never had a set way of playing. And I think he'll come in and say, right, this is how I'm playing. This is what I expect. Are you on board? If you're not, get the fuck out. And he'll say that in private. And I think rather than him saying it, I think we'll see it come to fruition, because remember, he's got someone working alongside him who's worked with before, and I don't think there's any going to be any holding back. He'll go to Paratici and say, I want him out, I want him out, I want him out, I want him out.
Yeah,
that's your job. Get rid of him.
Tired of the positivity, though. I want someone to come out and say, you know, unless two people are injured, Davies will never wear a Spurs shirt again. I want to hear those words. I want to hear them. I want somebody to come out and just have the balls to say it.
Do you know one thing that it doesn't worry me, but it's just one thing that it bothers me.
It doesn't bother me, but
listen, it's just that, you know, that niggling
feeling. Yeah.
It's when the one good thing about Conte is, like you guys said, him and Paratici have worked together before and they've been successful together. They speak the same language. You know, they're like Italian brothers. They can have that bond that maybe, you know, others it takes a bit longer to forge. They've worked at Juve. They've got stories they can share. Okay, and they're both good at their job, right? They're both good at their job in the right environment. But Paratici, he made a video, like he did an interview with Spurs, where he said, you know, we got a plan. It's going to take time. We've brought in young players. They need to involve, you know, stay positive, get behind Nuno. And then you've completely just put a knife right through that. It's like you put that video out 2 months ago to all the fans to buy into, and then you go and shoot it down. It's like, this is what I mean. Even I question Paratici because of that video, even though I'm saying him and Conte might be a good combination. That video you put out, Paratici, basically was an absolute load of bollocks. It was just a crock of fucking lies, man.
Yeah, it was.
So it's like, so what do you believe now when if Paratici comes out this week and Conte comes out and they put a video out, what do you take from it? You know,
exactly.
You know,
we've heard too many. I personally think we've heard too much from him already. We've seen him on the sidelines, giving it all that, trying to manage the fucking team. I thought it was embarrassing. He's coming out with videos every month. You know, I'd rather see him bring a backup striker in, shut the fuck up. Bring in a creative midfield and shut the fuck up. Bring in a right winger and shut the fuck up. Do that. Do your job on what your job is. You know, the narrative is that he had to convince Levy to bring Nuno in and showed him tapes of the attacking flair football that he played at Valencia. Well, why isn't he getting any shit for that? You know, we've wasted for the quarter of the season on what? Levy not hard enough bringing Conte in, or Paratici's you know, adamant stance of bringing Nuno in, and then, like you say, just changing it. The profile of the players that we're going to have to go for now are completely different to what we would have gone for if Nuno was still here.
they've all got to be Romero.
Conte, exactly. Conte wouldn't go for a Sarr. Conte wouldn't even go for a Hill. Conte will go for the Skriniars of the world, the Dybalas. He wouldn't
go for Galini. He wouldn't go for Emerson. He wouldn't go for any of these players.
So it's total shift, like you say, still total shift, total change of mindset. So,
but do you know what?
Like a bit of a plonk.
Do you know what? Well, I'll tell you what. I think they still would have gone for those players, right? Because they have already said it's public knowledge that the reason Paratici has come in is so that when they do chop and change managers, the players that he decides to buy with the manager at the time and the club, it's so that if another manager comes in, they can still work in the same method that the last manager worked with the same players. So that's why it's continuity in terms of having a director of football that buys the players.
Then why were they making Nuno play 4 at the back then?
Because they've obviously tried to sell it. They've done it so that they've tried to sell it so that he's going to play the same football at Valencia, but realistically, that was never going to happen because he's a different manager now. And the way he's played in the Premier League over the last couple of years is counter-attacking football. That's how he's played. He hasn't played on the front foot. He's played very pragmatic counter-attacking football. He's electric on the counter-attack, and because they had fast wingers and they play quick, intricate football when they do break and stuff like that. But we just don't even have those players to do it, or the players who even want to do it, and that's the problem. And the thing is, it's like with someone like Conte, he's worked with Conte, so he knows exactly how Conte works and what type of players that he likes. It's kind of like the bond that Paul Mitchell had with Pochettino. They knew their philosophies were the same. They thought the same about the type of players they wanted to bring in, the mentality of the players they wanted to bring in. So it's kind of like the same thing we're going to see probably now, is that Paratici and Conte want that kind of same type of player that they both want, the same kind of mentality of player they want. And maybe that will help a lot more than, say, Nuno and Paratici.
I know what you're saying, but don't you think, first of all, Paratici got a hell of a load of free transfers while he was at Juventus as well, who weren't players. Secondly, I honestly don't think Conte on an 18-month contract will be too bothered about the future of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And I'll be honest with you, mate, I'm at a point after 41 years. I want instant success. I'm greedy. I want those next players to come in. I want Conte's blueprint.
No, you're not greedy. You've waited 20 years. That's not greedy. Yeah.
But
you're starving.
Conte's blueprint is
you're hungry.
Buy quick equals quick success. And I think if that is a blueprint, I can't see Conte agreeing to Paratici's way of thinking. I think it would have been a case of, look, this is what I'm going to do. And I think that's probably the reason why I didn't come first. This is my blueprint. This is what I want to do. This is how much funds I want. And Paratici, my friend, will help me get there. Remember, Paratici got loads of free transfers in at Juventus. See, there was a hell of a lot, and I don't think there were that many youngsters who they bought at Juventus. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the blueprint that they bring to Spurs. 18-month contract, mate. Believe me, I don't think he'd be sitting there going, yeah, let's buy someone who's going to be good in 2 or 3 years. Because
definitely.
He doesn't work like that.
And to this comment here with Will Motto, that's technically the case. But sometimes, especially if they're and this, I'm going to say it again. If they're players who have played in a 4-2-3-1 system where they're technically left midfielders anyway, you can get away with those two outside midfielders basically being
wing backs.
No, I don't mean the wing backs. I'm not talking about the outside, the last two.
All right. Okay.
I'm talking about the two in the center three. If you were to have Son on the left and someone like Leon Bailey on the right, players who can play tight in tight, compact spaces, who are both defensive, who track back. Son always track back. Will may not be the best defensively.
Will, so with this comment, right? You will play with wingers, although they'll be tucked in. And what I mean by that is, when you've got the ball when you're in possession, the three at the back are never. You never play with a flat back three. People keep saying, three at the back. You never play with a flat back three. You either have one slightly forward, two behind, or two slightly forward, one behind. So it's like a triangle back three, but not like a pyramid-shaped triangle. You can see a triangle. And the reason you do that is so killer pass can't cut through the lines. But if you look how Conte does it, he has his back three at a diagonal. It's very unusual. The way he does it is actually quite nuts. But when you have possession, the centre back in the middle will kind of push into the holding mid role, and it creates almost a midfielder. So the three in the middle, one of them will go out wide, and the wing back will be right next to him, and it confuses your position. If I had a diagram, I'd draw it for you, but the wingers we will play won't be your traditional out and out wide players that run down the flanks.
Right,
they'll
like Hill.
They'll be midfield, exactly.
Inverted.
Perfect. It'll be an inverted midfielder who looks like a centre mid, but when we've got possession, he'll pull out wide.
Yeah. Alonso was good at doing that under him.
Yeah. So we will play with wingers, but our wingers will have to be able to play inside as well as out. So it's not your out and out pure winger. Those kind of wingers we won't play. We'll play with like a hybrid winger, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. But that's why I was saying Leon Bailey would be a great fit, because that's the system that he played in over there in Austria.
You're still not over it, are you?
No, I'm not.
Leon Bailey, man.
We well and truly missed the boat on that one.
He was
Yeah, we
perfect
missed
in
it,
that-
man.
in that type of system.
I agree.
Big up, Chris.
See, if anything, Hyun-Min
Danny?
Son would be good at that.
Yeah.
He'll be good at that. But I don't see
Like
Hyun-Min Son.
Vlahovic and Kane up top. Oh, that would be great.
But because we haven't got that second striker, he's going to have to. Lucas Moura would be fantastic at it.
Yeah.
Lucas Moura would be really good at it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was more tucked in, especially with knowing how well we can do that in number 10 position as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Nuno went, right, you're staying in the middle, mate. And I think we'll see less of Kane coming deep as well. I don't think he plays like that.
Yeah, he won't need to, because the wing backs they don't just play high up. They play really high up, like well past the halfway line. You know, and the defense of the opposition are like, who do I mark? Like, what the hell? It's a tough thing to defend against, especially if you've got quick. See, Reguilon's going to love it. This is what Reggie is made for. This Reggie is made for this.
Yeah.
You see this, right? This is what Conte said in 2017 about Spurs.
He's not wrong, is he?
Yeah.
This is exactly. This is what I mean by I can't see him coming in unless he's going to be given some sort of promise that he's going to be given money to spend.
100%.
I can't see it. This is his philosophy. I mean, it's in plain English right here.
There was different stories of how much he was going to get, though, from 100 million all the way up to 150. So if he's been promised that amount, then he may
ESPN
may have been given
reported
it.
280 million euro.
Yeah. What's that?
ESPN reported 280 million euro. He was going to be
Then,
given.
there you go.
we must have
insane.
naming rights. We must have naming rights deals coming through then, or something.
I think it's something to do with that Get Here sponsorship. That's what a lot of the money's coming from. That Get Here sponsorship.
How much is that a year?
That's
15
peanuts.
20
The
million a
Get Here
year,
thing's
isn't it?
peanuts. The
Yeah, I
Get Here's
know, but if you
peanuts.
add up what they've made as well on the NFL so far this year and the
boxing.
they've made over 105 million already just on the boxing and the NFL.
They're going to have to sell players as well to make money. They're going to have to.
Yeah, and that as well. It'll be selling players as well. So they're probably looking at getting rid of like the Dele Allis and the Winksies and the Dohertys. Like they're the players they're going to look to try and get rid of.
Conte has to decide that, right? Conte has to pick that. This
I'm
is the
sure
whole point.
He will, though. I'm sure he will.
Well, look what he did to Victor Moses. He might turn Doherty into a bloody worldie. Who knows, man?
Do you believe that though? Do you honestly, hand on heart, believe that he's going to be able to do that to Matt Doherty?
Danny, you know what? With any other manager, I'd say no. But Conte, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he will, if I'm going to be honest. No. But, mate, what he did with Victor Moses, it's hard to ignore that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Victor Moses wasn't a bad player before. He was an average player. Doherty's below average.
But Doherty, in that three at the back system that Nuno
At
played,
Wolves, he played really well.
yeah.
Second best right wing back.
But then again,
At-
if you've got
at Spurs,
if you've
every
got
chance he's had, he's
Tanganga there,
shit.
who's covering him at right centre back, that could probably help him a lot because Tanganga's an animal. So and he's got pace, he's got strength. So if he's playing at right centre back, it would essentially give Doherty a lot more sort of license to roam. But the only thing I say is just what I've seen of Doherty. He needs confidence in him because he just looks awful. He can't cross a ball. He can't pass.
Terrible.
He can't do anything.
I mean, Emerson too. Emerson's done well, but his crosses have been
They haven't owned it. They haven't really. They've been pretty good. If you look at his crossing, right, he's half and half. Like some of his crosses are very good, and some of them are just not the greatest.
He's
And
guided over all the way out of bounds against Manchester United.
I saw that, right. But
Playing
if you
it
look
behind
at
the front line by about 12 yards.
If you watched him, if you remember against the Villa game as well, right? He was phenomenal in that match.
Yeah,
he
on
was
those low
brilliant.
crosses across the ground. I'm talking about the ones in the air. His aerial.
Yeah, but
crosses.
even the one for Lucas Moura in Burnley, that was a brilliant cross. From the
Do you know-
he scored the header.
Do you know what I want to? Do you know one thing I want Conte to really fucking fix at this club? Like really fix how to take corners and how to take free kicks.
Yeah.
Just somebody, please teach
Put the
these
right
players.
man on it.
Yeah. Do you know what, Will?
First step would be like stop letting Harry Kane take.
Exactly.
Don't.
Exactly.
Do you know what, Will? With Emerson, yeah, he's
Since we sold
what I
Emerson-
see in him. He's raw. He's really raw. Like he's got ability. The kid has got ability. He's got athleticism. He's very strong. He's quick. He's got, and he's young as well. And he's just he looks like he's growing every time he plays, slowly. And I honestly believe he's going to be a very good player for us at some point.
I hope he does, but he is
Emerson.
very, very raw.
Yeah, he's very raw. He's very raw. You can see it in his game. He reminds me of when Kyle Walker first came to Spurs. Like that's
He needs
how
time
raw
to
he is.
adjust.
I just
He
want
still
to.
needs some time to adjust to the Premiership.
I want
Yeah.
to see him being able to put balls in like Reguilon, where he's running at full speed and he can literally cross the ball and have it land on a dime, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, he's the
I've seen that once.
Coming time.
Yeah, I
To be
think
fair,
he will.
Will,
I think he will.
he still needs the time to adjust. First of all, Will, for that, and secondly, he's still a better right back than what Doherty is anyway. So he's the best option we've got at the moment.
Oh yeah,
Chris,
definitely.
he's made more of an impression in what 2 months he's been here than what Doherty has. You know,
In a whole
I mean,
100%.
he's only a year younger than Reguilon, and he didn't put it in the near as much of a impact as Reguilon did right away.
No, but he's
Some
growing.
players take time to adjust.
He's growing. He's only had how many starts has he had? He's had what, like 4 or 5 starts?
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a lot. So we can't judge him on 4 games. I mean, Doherty's had a whole season and a half, and he's still shit.
Right, but I mean, you're comparing him to Doherty, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know,
even
but,
think he's as good as Kieran Trippier was.
Oh no, definitely
Or
not.
comparing to Aurier then. Let's compare it to
I
Aurier.
don't think he's as good as Aurier. Not attacking, defensively he's better.
I
Yeah,
think
defensively he's better.
Yeah.
I think he's better defense. He's very good defensively.
But going forward, he's not even
sliding
half as
tackles
good
are
as
brilliant. I think there's ability there. You can see it in the way some of his crosses are. And
at least you can see something there. You can't
know,
see
in the
it.
Man United
going
game,
3 at the
right?
back, we're gonna.
I
miss
think it'll
Aurier.
suit him.
We're gonna miss Aurier.
Yeah, you could say that.
With some of the tactics that Nuno played, you
Stell,
can see it
your
wasn't.
volume is really low. We can't
I
hear
think
you.
you're mute, Stell, or
Hold on.
really low, mate.
He's not muted.
Stell,
He's
Stell.
just his audio is
Yeah.
real low for some reason.
Yeah, my audio is not very good.
No, you're right, Chris. It's Stell.
Chris,
mate.
yours is fine. It was Stell.
Sorry, I was covering the speaker.
Yours is fine.
then-
Yours is fine.
And then here to lead our people out of Egypt. We got, sorry, man. You look like Moses there for a second.
Okay.
Glad to have you back, my friend. Long time no see.
It's been a long time. Thank you for having me on. Fantastic panel. I've recently come back. I've started getting more involved with the Spurs community and the family and so forth. Honestly, I think this is a very important, significant moment in our club right now.
Definitely.
Conte has signed. There may be some stickiness to when he's going to arrive, but at the end of the day, we all know about Conte that he doesn't hold back anything. So there are some promising signs that he's going to, he's not going to put up with the crap that some of these players have been getting up with for so long. People like Ben Davies and Winks and so forth. And this whole idea of attack, I think Stelios got it absolutely spot on, that the second strikers, we need to get some of our
I
players.
love it when people say
forward.
that. I really get excited when people say that. Thank you.
Someone think
You're welcome, Stelios. But yeah, and Chris is here as well. Danny, the bun.
Okay.
And
How you,
Bobster,
Mr. K?
the legend.
Good to see you.
Big up.
It's good to see you as well, Will. I know you've been busy as well. So yeah, I think we're both timing it more or less the right time. I think the Spurs fan base need a little bit more clarity as to what's really going on, what might be behind the scenes. We're all hoping and fingers crossed that the money is going to start coming in. We'll see in the January transfer window. They might delay it until summer, but we have to see some signs in the January transfer window that something is going to occur. Otherwise, bad results might end up with Conte, not fulfilling his first part of his contract.
He'll walk. He'll walk, man.
You never know. There's always a bounce when a new manager comes in. And right now we need a little bit of a bounce. The results haven't been going our way. The players look like they've dropped their shoulders, dropped their head. And I think with a world-class manager like Conte, that's going to lift the spirits and the belief that the players have. Because unfortunately, our players are a little bit, they need belief. They don't have the leadership's qualities and strengths inside to step up themselves a bit like, that's the reason why everyone loves Højbjerg. because he doesn't need. The tea lady could be the manager, and he will still play up to his top game. Whether or not there's quality in that, that's another matter.
Mr. K, do you know what I think about these players? And this might not go down well, but in this current world where everything's politically correct and everyone's sensitive to what words you use, and you've got to have like 6 different toilets to suit every kind of gender, and the whole world, you've got to be really, really open-minded to everything. Just sometimes you need to go up to people and give them a fucking smack. And these players, they need old school treatment. And Jose came in and gave that, and you know what? He shook them up, and they didn't know what the hell to do. And that's what's needed. But when it happens this time, the chairman has to say, "I'm on the manager's side."
Agreed,
I know it might not be appropriate, and that's not modern coaching. But I think for our club, where we are, and our players, they need it, man. They need that old school tough love.
Definitely.
I think it's slightly different from Jose. Jose kind of like changed his spots a little bit when he came over to our club. He appeared to be a little bit more humble than he ever was before, because he used to have a certain arrogance, a certain swagger. And then when he came to our club, he kind of like really went down a peg or two in terms of that.
Lost his
and I don't know whether that's because maybe as a manager he's going on the way down. Maybe. But Conte is definitely not anywhere near down. So I think Conte has a bit more aggression, which is what we need from our manager towards the players. And I think if you look behind the scenes, I think Poch had that level of aggression, as well as him putting his arm around people. And I think Conte has that as well. That level of aggression that's going to make sure that the players are more scared of him than they are of the opposition.
Poch would never.
Problem with that, Mr. K, is this. Problem with that, Mr. K, the problem with some of our team, they're like a bunch of over-pampered babies. You say one thing out of line, "Oh, I don't want to play for you no more." That's it. That's how it's gone with most of the coaches we've had.
Yeah, I think now after 3 managers, nobody's going to believe that anymore. And the thing is, if these players have got any aspirations of maybe going to another team and playing there and getting maybe 3, 4, 5 years out of that team and getting more money, this is going to affect their future if they don't perform in the correct way, or if they start opening their mouth and start giving it spiel. I personally believe that people like, for example, Winks is going to have to find something inside him to step up, because Conte won't put up with his crap.
Step up.
People like Davis is going to be too slow. And if that's the case, then
they'll leave. I can't wait for them to leave. I'm actually.
As soon as Winks leaves, I'm dancing.
Yeah, I'm buzzing for the fact that I'm hoping that he's gonna see exactly what every single fucking Tottenham fan sees, apart from Alex Davis.
Don't even go there.
Ben Davis and fucking Harry Winks are gonna leave our club.
Don't pull him out. He'll come.
I'll call him out. And Dele Alli's shit, Alex. Dele Alli.
Guys, is that Jason? Is that Jason in the bottom?
Jason. Hi, Jason.
Oh, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Do I actually sound like that, you fucks?
I love you, Jason.
What I'm looking forward to is his first press conference, because that bloke says it how it is.
Yeah.
Like, he ain't going to sugarcoat anything. Well, at least I hope he doesn't.
I mean, he has called our club the protagonist with the ambition that they have. And I had to quickly go and refamiliarize myself with the word protagonist just to make sure I understood what he said. And I'm not too sure whether that word applies to us. But if Conte is speaking it out, then maybe he's got a plan. Maybe he's got an arrangement with Levy where he's put him over the table and said, "Listen, Sunshine, get that money out." And I believe that, that level of aggression that Conte has. I mean, when he was at Chelsea, he didn't give a bananas. But no matter which club he goes to, he's really giving it to the management.
He speaks it how he sees it. The other thing is, a lot of people have been like, 18-month contract. I'll tell you how I see that. I almost see that like Conte's putting our board on trial for 18 months to see if they back up the words they've told him. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. That's 100%. How I see that, because he's got no reason to tie himself to us any longer than that if we're not stumping up. What?
I mean, he doesn't care about... I mean, sometimes he doesn't care about the money. He just walks out of the club.
Oh, yeah, he's not money-driven. He's results-driven.
No, he's results-driven.
He's made his money. He's got plenty of money. He's got plenty of money.
I mean, I thought the same thing you did, Jason. That the 18-month contract was really more or less his play rather than Levy's. Or maybe Levy kind of has maybe learned something from what happened previously with Jose in terms of the length of the contract and how expensive it would be to get rid of a manager. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, a lot of this is wait and see. But having said that, you know, we were in the summer thinking that there's no way Conte will ever come to Tottenham. And now, let's face it, he's there. And, you know, I think whenever Levy gets into a situation where he knows the writing's on the wall, he pulls his finger out and then that's it. You know, top manager walks in. Will he back him up? Will Paratici be happy with the backing that he's given? We'll have to wait and see for the first.
Do you know what, Mr. K? Right, if you look at it, and you know me, we're all like massive Levy out. But if you look at it now, we've got a world-class stadium, we've got a world-class training ground, we've got revenue streams coming in of a world-class business, we've got a world-class manager.
Just need world-class players.
Need a world-class funded transfer window for 2 or 3 years. If they just do that now, we have every single piece in place. So for me, it's all on Levy now. Everything is on Levy. You've got everything in place, man. What's the point of having everything world-class if you're not going to do the last piece?
Well, hopefully what I'm hearing about the 100+ mil for the January window alone, like that's a good start, you know what I mean? As long as they spend it. Right, it's like all of this though, isn't it, bruv? It's like, I'll believe it when I see it, but I want to see it, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Don't you think that the way that I mean, Tottenham never came out with a statement to say, listen, we're negotiating with Conte, and while we're in the middle of negotiating, you know, this is the amount of money that we might put forward. It seems to me that these type of figures and these type of money situations may be part of the PR. But, you know, at the end of the day, we all know Conte, right?
You see,
so
Arsenal,
that would be...
You see Arsenal, they went and spent £150 million in the summer. They never once mentioned to anyone they're going to go and spend big. They never once mentioned how much money they had. And what did they go and do? They went about their business. We don't tell anyone how much money we're going to spend. Let them look back after the window and say, oh, man, they had all that money. I hate them. But Arsenal, they actually went about their business in a savvy way in the summer. They did. Whether it lasts the season, I don't know. But so far, you got to say, they kind of got it right so far. Still early, but.
Jason.
I honestly though, I don't agree that I don't see why the club should say how much money they've got to spend to the public, because that just leaves the selling club to like hang you out to dry even more if they know you've got X amount. Like I understand why they're not broadcasting it, but in the end, I want to see it like at the end of the January window. I want to add up the sums and there's a chunk of cash being spent. Probably won't be though. Let's be fair, but that's what I'm dreaming about.
Jason, if we ever sold Harry Kane for mega money, on the same day, I would leak a report into the media saying we've been stung this massive fine by HMRC. We're on the brink of bankruptcy. We've got to pay off our debts. So everyone now thinks that Harry Kane money's gone, and then we can go and spend the money.
100% agree, Stelios.
But don't you think that basically with that type of money we're talking about here, that we have a manager that can attract that quality of player? I mean, when Nuno was there, I mean, exactly, a lot more so than Nuno. I think maybe this is the problem that maybe Paratici had trying to bring players in. You know, it's a lot more easier to bring a quality player in or a developing quality player when you've got a world-class manager right there. Because players want to work with the best. If you want to become the best, you want to work with the best.
Everyone wants to play for Klopp and Pep. Everyone. So Conte's no different. Conte's renowned. He's You're right. Yeah.
All right, Will. Long time no speak, brother.
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Not bad. How was your break? Your mini break, as it were.
It wasn't even a break, man. I was working. It was actually harder than doing this, to be honest with you.
I heard you was fishing.
I did fish 2 days.
Did you catch anything?
No, actually, my job was more to guide than to fish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, for people that don't know, I do work in the fishing tackle industry, and so I was there was an international fishing competition going on here, and a team from Korea came in, and my job was to put them on fish and translate for them. So, yeah, it was 16 hours a day. I'm all sunburnt. That's why I've got it looks. No.
I'm assuming the translation went fine. The translating went fine. Did you put them on the fish?
One guy got second in his in the international
Wow.
division. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Mission accomplished.
Mission
Yeah.
accomplished.
I made some cash. That's always good. And yeah, that's where I was for 10 days. It was hard work though. I'm gonna tell you what, sleeping maybe 4 or 5 hours a night. Taking
that's
care
my
of
life in general, brother.
yeah, taking care of everything administratively. But so I missed 2 of the games. I didn't even get to watch them. But luckily on
You
Saturday,
didn't miss much.
yeah, I missed the West Ham and I missed the midweek match.
Well, you
I did
missed
catch the
Kane walking
tail end
around
of
a
it.
lot. That's all you missed.
Guys, I know that you, I know a lot of us have some reservations regarding whatever Levy does, but I thought it was very interesting that Conte used the word protagonist to describe our club's ambition. Now, I don't know. I mean, he must, in order for him to use that word, he must have some dialogue with the board, and the board have made it aware to him that this is the ambition that they want to do, that they want to get up to the stage where they are acting as protagonists within the Premier League. But you know, that's a bold statement. You know, it's really strange.
That's
I mean,
what he's been told.
I mean, Danny, you know,
Who are we
you
protagonizing?
don't hold your
Just
words
right
back.
now.
Basically, if you look at the top 4, you know, the protagonist would be the one that would be kind of getting in the way of preventing or be challenging for top spots and deciding who is the one to go up against. And he's basically making it plain that Tottenham is the team that he believes, or that he's come to an arrangement with Tottenham, or that they've told him that that's what they wish to become. People who can influence who's going to be in the top 4. Because whoever's in the top 4 has the chance and opportunity of winning a league. If you're in the top 4, you have the quality on a regular basis to win a cup. And, you know, for Conte to use such words, you know, I think to myself that there's been a discussion that's been between the board and him as to what their vision is. You know, obviously this vision...
Isn't a protagonist like a drama queen?
No.
Not really as such. He's basically the main hero.
Yeah, like
He's
the head of the drama.
the story. Basically, the protagonist is, if you're in the story, then the protagonist is the one that all the events, all the events that are going around him, and as he goes through the story, he influences what happens in the story, and that's what he's saying here. Now, obviously, if you're at the lower end of
the league is the story, and we're the protagonists.
That means Daniel Levy wants to take over the NFL, take over the Premier League, take over the EFL. He just
God bless Levy and all who sow in him.
correct. SS Levy.
Yeah,
Watch
but
out
the
for
thing
that
is,
fucking
though,
iceberg.
it's an interesting choice of words, though, and you know, as we all said, Conte doesn't mince his words about. But then, having said that, maybe this is just a beginning tactical negotiation just to get Conte through the door, so that people don't talk about Levy no more. Who knows?
Oh, 100%.
Oh no, that Levy out chant scared the crap out of him. In
It
my
does.
opinion.
What a lovely chant! What a lovely chant.
First time he's heard that, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah, 21 years, first time.
Yeah, and I'll tell you
He's
what,
probably
if
heard it
this
many
goes
times in a
wrong-
nightmare.
If this goes wrong because he doesn't back him, he's going to hear it a lot more.
He's finished.
Like
finished.
you guys were saying earlier, this is a no-lose, no-win situation for us.
Let me ask you this question, right? If it goes wrong with Conte,
Yeah.
what manager do you bring in after that? Like, there is nobody.
No.
He's the thing is, by that time, right? Yeah, the contract for the Brighton manager might be in a situation where
We're not going to take Graham Potter after
a world-class manager. You normally go for a project manager, don't you?
It depends why it goes wrong with Conte. If it goes wrong with Conte because he wasn't backed financially, then Levy's position, in my opinion, becomes untenable. Yeah. If it goes wrong because Conte just fucking gets it wrong, which is not going to happen, but he gets all the players he wants, but it just goes tits up, I don't know that you can lay the blame for that particular piece going wrong at Levy. I mean, there's a lot of other things. Do you know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
But, like, if Levy doesn't back him financially, he's got nowhere to hide. Period.
Yeah. He knows that. He knows that as well.
Yeah.
He knows that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the reason why. And that's the reason why he's gone for Conte, and Conte's accepted it because he's probably said, Conte, what do you want? What do you want? Have it. Just have it, and just have it, because I do not want to hear them words again, that chant again in the stadium. So
and Bob, he probably, if he is going to open up the purse strings, Levy probably wants some guarantees that it's going to be spent on the right guy.
Exactly.
Because Mourinho might piss it all up the wall.
Yeah.
See, in this particular instance, Levy is Princess Leia and Conte is Obi-Wan. Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
The force is strong.
The force is definitely strong.
Well, look, we're going. That's why I said this is the. Look, I've been away for a little while. In fact, quite a while.
Help me.
Help me.
Someone needs to make a meme of that. I'm just saying.
No, hey,
but it's a very put well though. Put well.
Jason, this guy on the stream last night put this message up. It was genius. He put, I want an intelligent bunch of Contes.
Yeah.
It's look. As a fan of the club, we're hearing like Newcastle being bought out. We're hearing rumors of West Ham being bought out, and we're thinking to ourselves, "Oh my days! What was already hard for our team, what was already hard for our club in the league, is going to become even harder next season and the season after that." We really need to get our boat going.
Oh yeah,
and
it's a do or die moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's only going to. I mean, we're going to become the new Newcastle if Conte doesn't work out. Because I mean, right now there's some of us, we know Levy and Leopard can't change his spots. He's done this before. He's had a project manager or he's had a developing manager, and then he's got rid of him, and then he's brought in a world-class manager, and that's taken heat off him. He's brought in players. Bale came in. All of this type of things have happened before. We're hoping second time round, maybe it might actually click into place.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as a fan is concerned, all I care about is the success of our club. If Levy gets in our way, that's the reason why I don't like Levy, because I believe he's getting in our way. But if this works out and Levy learns to step back, then as far as I'm concerned, he can carry on collecting his money, carry on working on the property portfolio. He's good at it. So long as our club starts to reach the ambition that all us fans dream about having. There's an awful lot of fans out there that have just never seen this club win any trophies whatsoever.
Mr. K, in fact, I'll put it to everyone. Let's say Conte's at the club for 3 years, right? Let's just go with 3 years.
Yep.
What would you realistically want to see at the end of the 3 years? What have we achieved? Mr. K, you go first because you were talking about the trophies.
Anything. I don't care. I want any trophy whatsoever.
One Carabao Cup.
I want. Another thing is the second thing is that Conte has. No, in order for us to win a trophy, our team has to be playing some form of aggressive attacking play. Now, I don't expect us to win everything, but at least I want us team to be, putting it on the pitch, going forward as opposed to backwards. And if they win if they do that, then they stand the chance of winning trophies. If he spends 3 years here and he hasn't won a trophy, then Conte himself will say he's failed. If that happens, Levy is out. Because I don't think the fan base will put up with it anymore.
Even if
Yeah,
Conte's
yeah.
backed, can we honestly? If Conte's backed and Conte wins nothing, can we honestly
Tell you
blame
what I
Levy?
think. I'll tell you what
But-
I think. Sorry, like if Conte's backed, you can't really blame Levy in this particular
No.
instance. As far as 3 years, if we're talking Conte's got all the money he needs, he gets all the players he wants, yeah, and nothing's getting in the way of his footballing team and what they're doing. In 3 years, I expect us to be challenging, if not winning a league. Like
Yeah,
I do,
I agree.
because he is
Yeah, I
that
agree.
fucking good a manager.
Yeah.
But that's in a perfect world, mind you.
Look, I desire, I wish to say, you know, we win the league, we win the FA Cup, we win a Champions League, 1, 2, 3. You know, I'd like to say that. Maybe an FA, then a league, then a Champions League. I'd like to think that. If that happens, fantastic. But with me, because of all the experiences I've been with this club, at the very least, I want at least one trophy, and the way we play. The way we play. And I think to a certain degree, that's what Conte was trying to allude to when he used the word protagonist. I believe that's why you know, the ambition of the club, if it's really meant to be like that, then yes, Conte will be successful. He is success. Everybody knows it. If he doesn't get his way, trust me, there'll be fireworks.
Danny, Bob, Will, what 3 years of Conte?
If
Yeah.
if Levy does what he's supposed to do, he do what they're supposed to do, and follow Conte's winning blueprint, he will not fail. There's not many things you can guarantee in life, but one thing you can do is if Conte is allowed to do the job he's been brought in to do, spend the money that he needs to, buy quick equals quick success in Conte's eyes, then there's no reason for him to fail. The only way
Yes!
Conte is going to
Sorry,
fail.
Atalanta
Okay.
1-0.
Okay. The only way Conte is going to fail is because Levy and Enoch haven't put up their side of the bargain, and they can't afford not to do that because Levy will sit there in every press conference and say they promised me this and they didn't deliver. You won't think twice before calling Levy or Enoch out. You won't think twice. So it's in Levy's best interest to get the best out of Conte, and the only way to do that is to back him fully because he guarantees his success, be it on a Champions League qualification, be it trophies, that he will take us to the next level, but it needs to be backed.
Definitely needs to be
He
backed.
is.
For me,
He's-
if he gets back, if we don't win the league, I'm
We
in.
never will. We never will.
Guys, wasn't there a report in summer when Conte was negotiating with our board that Conte wanted to bring in his team? You know, he has excellent coaches and excellent, you know, he has a wonderful team, a lot of them, and that's one of his secrets of success is the way that he sets himself up.
Yeah.
If he's now here, I mean, it looks like he's here. If he's not backed in any way, then he wouldn't be here because his team wouldn't have been brought in. I am inside a little bit hopeful that there is a change that's occurring, and I think that maybe the chanting that happened has scared Levy enough.
Don't underestimate it. Do not underestimate how much that chant and all these people saying, "Oh, what's Levy out, Enoch out going to do?" I'll tell you what. Right, going back all the time when Ben started it with this little sign going out on a cold day when it's pissing it down, people took the piss out of him. People took the piss out of the ESL protest when me, you, and Danny and Stell went. You know, people say, "What the fuck?" But I'll tell you what, it caught the imagination. It caught people talking about it. Brian Daigle, big up Brian Daigle, doing exactly what he did. Went to every single protest, rain, wind, cold, whatever. He was there at the forefront. He took so much abuse for it. One thing I'll say, I guarantee you this: Levy out chant does not happen on Saturday if all these YouTubers, Brian Daigle at the forefront of every protest, that wasn't in everybody's mind. They might not agree with it, but they know there's a big clamour for Levy out like it's never been before. And I tell you what, them chants do not happen if the likes of Ben, Stell, Danny, yourself, myself, Brian especially, and all the other group, we weren't there. And Chris.
Keep the message alive. Just keep the message alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Alive.
That chant doesn't happen, Mr. K, if it wasn't at the forefront on media. It made Talk Sport. It made London Football. It made Sky Sports. The Levy mask, the crown mask, is still prominent. It's still prominent.
Yeah,
it still comes up on Sky Sports. It is out there.
Same here.
It is out there. So,
Listen, guys,
I
I totally agree with what Bob said. I think that's spot on, that comment. I've got to shoot because I'm doing Tommy's stream later, and I just want a bit of a break before I do that one. So, Mr. K, listen, man, great to see you back, bro. Awesome, honestly, man, good to see you back in the live. Danny, Bob, Jason, Will, I'll see you soon, shortly as well. Hopefully, Mr. K is back for good now, and yeah, we'll shoot it. Keep the show going, bro. Good stuff.
Will do, Stell. Thanks for coming on. Everybody
Cheers,
go over
bro.
to Tottenham Away and subscribe to Stell. One of my favorite guys to have on a panel or to be on a panel with. So make sure you guys go
Somebody said earlier,
and
Say what you
subscribe
think
to
when
his
he's gone.
channel.
That's-
Yeah,
be honest,
he's lying
once
to
I'm
you.
gone.
He's lying still.
See you later. See you
Do you
later.
know?
He told us you're not a coach.
Yeah, he's a coach. Do you know that?
Well,
he's a
hold
coach.
on. Still's a coach.
Bye. Bye.
That's new.
I'm technically a coach too. I do have a coaching license.
Well, there you go.
Will, can I
Will's
ask a
coach.
question? Will and Jason, what's the news, like the media news coverage on your side of Tottenham and the chant that was happening? Did that go into the news in America and Canada, or was it not really there?
Mm,
Not really there for me.
No,
I
a
don't
little
watch
bit.
mainstream news.
not a lot.
Mm.
And Tottenham Tantrum, thanks for the super sticker. I tried to pull it up on my thing, but I couldn't see it. If anybody else wants to support the channel with super stickers, the little dollar signs down at the bottom, go ahead and do that. If not, make sure you do hit like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. In order to participate in the chat, you do have to be subscribed to the channel. That keeps out the riffraff. We'll go ahead and do that. It was on ESPN FC for a little bit, but to be honest with you, they covered the Conte's news far more than they covered the Levy out chant. They think that Conte coming to Spurs is a bad idea. They don't think that Daniel Levy is going to back him. This is what Craig Burley was saying on ESPN FC. He thinks that somebody like Graham Potter would be a better choice. You know, somebody who's a long-term type manager. But
Oh, wow.
yeah,
I mean, there's comments coming through from some of the viewers that are saying the same thing, whether in ESPN and other places as well, that the news has been reaching globally. You know, it may not be coverage like from wall to wall, but the news has definitely spread about the chanting, and I think that's amazing. I think that's absolutely amazing. I mean, honestly, Bob is right. When I remember the ESL one, and how disappointed he was. We all felt a little bit let down, but we didn't give up. You know, nobody gave up. Nobody gave up. We carried on, and after that, when the Kane issues happened in the summertime, there was a lot of flack being thrown towards Kane, and as a side effect, there was a lot of flack being thrown against us. But people have stuck to their principles because we're not blind. You know, what we desire is just the success of our club. You know, if Levy wanted that too, then he needs to do something about it. I mean, we're willing to come out just to protest for that, and he needs to come out and hopefully, I'm hoping that this is a wake-up call for him. You know, I'm hoping, I'm hopeful. You know, I'm always hopeful. So
we're hoping the pennies drop, don't we, Mr. K? We're hoping, and it's like you keep on saying, like I keep saying as well, and everybody else. We cannot see the logic behind. Mourinho, to an extent, was an appointment to appease the fans, to keep the fans quiet. I'll tell you what, every single transfer, every single rumour, every single player going out, every single player that's potentially going to be signing for us, no one's going to be looking at Conte, everyone's going to be looking at Levy from now on, because they know, like Stell's mentioned, everything's in place. We need 5 world-class things in place. I'd go as far as the players. We've got a few world-class players there as well. For me, Sonny, Harry Kane, I think Højbjerg is potentially world-class. Romero's world-class.
Yeah.
Lloris for me is world-class. We've got a world-class base of a squad as well. It's on Levy now. Everything is on Levy, and for me, he knows that. He's not stupid. He knows that. So to get Conte in, it's taken a bit of balls. It's all about backing it up, because any shortage of a transfer of a promised transfer, tell you what, not a single person is going to be looking at Conte. We perform shit. We lose 3-0 against Man United under Conte because of the lack of personnel we have on the pitch again. Levy better know what's coming his way. That's not a threat. You know what I'm saying? You better be prepared for.
Oh, you're threatening him, and Bob. Don't kid us.
I will say this though, like I do honestly think, not everyone, because you know you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, but I think Conte will definitely get a bit more out of some of those players, because I think he's a better
Which ones?
Stevie B, Mora, the consistency that those two players need to give. I mean, Mora gives an awful lot to the pitch, but we need success as well from them. We need results from them. Stevie B has a massive confidence problem right now, where he's just not scoring the goals. He's doing absolutely everything he possibly can, but he's not. I don't see it clicking for him. And maybe someone like Conte can come along. He has an excellent back staff.
I think he's gonna really help Reguilon turn the corner. Plus, his formation is going to play into Reguilon.
Right wing back. I think it's tailor made for him. And you've got to remember, you know, at Chelsea, people were Chelsea fans were happy to move Alonso on. There was other players that were ready to be moved on, and Alonso's been a permanent fixture ever since. He turned him into a class player.
I'm sorry, I just saw some of the comments by Jamie Gibb.
I don't think that. I think that. Look, but you're talking about players who are already performing fairly decently under Nuno as well. I mean, Reguilon had a great first half of the season compared to the second half last season under Mourinho and what's his name? He who should not be named.
Who is currently underperforming that he'll get a tune out of?
Yeah, Kane.
Maybe that's it.
I think. No, I agree with Mr. K. I think he may get something out of Bergwijn.
Bergwijn, maybe. I think Bergwijn has the possibility, but maybe Bergwijn.
I think Ndombele.
Yeah, but like, who thought he was going to get fucked out of
maybe
for Chelsea?
I think the one we're going to get shocked about more than anyone is Ndombele. I honestly feel that.
Yes,
I think if Conte is the one who wanted him at Inter Milan, he really wanted him. So if he can't get a tune out of him, then no one will ever get a tune out of him. I feel that's how I feel about him right now. I think Conte is his kind of his messiah, his last hope sort of thing.
Yeah, otherwise I think he's done in world football.
He's
Look,
not the messiah,
I do, yeah.
Naughty little boy.
Yeah, he's
Conte, you're my last hope.
Lo Celso, I don't think he's going to do anything unless Lo Celso kind of plays in like a false nine type role behind Harry Kane and the two at the top or something like that. I'm going to look forward to seeing how he's going to line the squad up, who he's going to play where, and do stuff like that. But we got about 15 minutes left in the show. Last question. Who's the starting lineup under Conte, and who is your first signing that you want in January? Bob, how do you see us lining up, and who do you think is the first person we're going to sign?
Okay. There's a lot of talk of I think Kessie is going to be, because he's available on a free.
He's a free, yeah, but I'm talking like actual signing, like we spend money. Now, is that included? Are they taking his value on that and adding that into the 100 million we're going to spend in January, even though we're getting them on a free?
I think Parati's big on free transfer. I think Vlahovic is one as well. We need a backup striker. We need a striker. We need another striker. Never mind backup striker. So I think he'll be the number one on his hit list. And it's from Italy as well, where there's a lot of familiarity there. Defender, I think that's not going to be a priority. That is a must. I don't think that's going to be a priority. I do think the attacking side, the fact we've scored hardly any goals all season, he'll be looking at that. It will obviously change the system for that as well. So for me, Vlahovic is going to be the one we hopefully sign first. It's quality. It's quality. We've got a year and a half left on his contract, so it won't be mega bucks as well.
But you're starting. The issue with managers coming in after the season started is that they don't have a pre-season to kind of get their philosophy across to the players. So I believe that this particular run up towards Christmas is most likely just an evaluation stage by Conte, and that he's going to evaluate until January. Okay, this is what I need to do. Step 1, step 2. Step 1 is Christmas. Step 2 is summer. So that's what I see in terms of the contract.
Mr. Danny K, the bun.
Yes.
Put some jam on it. What do you got? What do you got formation wise, and who do you see us signing first in January?
Wait, is that first question again?
Formation.
Formation. Where are we lining up? How do we lining up? Starting
I
11.
think he's going to go like a 3-4-3, like he does at Inter. I think that's what he's probably going to do. He'll probably go 3 at the back. I reckon Romero is the head of the centre back 3. Tanganga's got to be right centre back, and left centre back. It could be anyone right now. To be honest, it could be Rodon, could be Sanchez, could be Dyer. It could be any single one of them. I think right now, a lot of us would probably like to see Rodon, but I don't think Rodon's going to be the one who he's going to choose first. I think he's going to go with someone who's a bit more, maybe in anyone's eyes, is a bit more stable right now, or who could probably help with sort of transitioning, or see who he feels that maybe is given a chance. Because I think that's probably a position he's going to want to change at some point and get an actual, like another Romero type player next to him, next to Romero, on that sort of left centre back role. Whether that's like a Bastoni or a left-footed centre back, or just a very good right-footed centre back who can play with his left foot, who's a leader or whatever. But yeah, it could be anyone. I don't know who he's going to pick for that left centre back role. Obviously, I think the wing backs will be Emerson and Reguilon. In the middle, he's probably going to. See, this is the problem, right? Because you can only put 2 players in the middle. And who do you go with? Do you go with Skip or Højbjerg and then another attacking player? Because you can't put Skip and Højbjerg in, because it completely ruins your creative spark in that middle. And not one of them is going to kind of try to dominate the game to be that creative spark, unless one of them is given a license to kind of just go forward. Skip can be box to box. His best performances that I've seen him is when he is doing the box to box kind of style in a match, like against Wolves in the League Cup. He was kind of everywhere, and that was his best performance we've seen him play. It was above everyone in that match. It's interesting.
Danny, do you think Dele's gonna stay after Christmas?
I don't know. I think he's going to go in January. I don't know whether it'll be sold or loan.
Yeah.
But I think he is going to go. I think they need to get rid of some players, because they know that they're not going to fit into Conte's system. Dele Alli, his best position is a second striker, really, or someone who's given a free role to kind of just have a license to do what he wants, sort of thing.
Like a Terraquista.
Yeah, exactly. He ain't going to have that in a Conte formation. It's not going to happen. And in the middle, I think you probably start with Højbjerg and, well, it could be Skip and Ndombele, because he's going to need someone who's a bit more defensive minded, and it all depends on who he decides. But I think if he does start with Højbjerg, I do feel a bit for Skip, because he has been very good for us this season, and it's just whether or not who he decides to kind of rotate and who's going to get in the middle. But he's going to have to sort of change it, and he's going to have to sort of see who he thinks is best at this moment with the players he's got, because he's not going to have exactly what he wants straight away. And then for your sort of 2 up top, it's obviously going to be Harry Kane and well, if it's going to be 3, it's going to be Harry Kane, Son, and it could be anyone. That could be Mora, could be Bergwijn, could be Hill. We just don't know the way he wants to play. I know
you're only supposed to pick 11, not all 25.
I doubt it'd be Delhi. He could even go like a 2-1 sort of thing. So he'll have like the 4-4, like the 3-4, and then a 2-1 sort of thing, or like a 1-2, like have a 1 and then a 2 strikers sort of thing. So he could do that with like maybe like a Mora or like a someone sitting behind. He could do something like that rather than have
It might be interesting.
3-4-3. He'll do like like that, and you have 2 up
Danny,
top.
Danny, do you think that basically Conte has the ability to transform Dombele into that 1 behind the 2 up front, so that will release himself in the midfield, and that way you could possibly have a Skip Højbjerg behind them, because Højbjerg for his national team plays far more aggressive in terms of going forward, creating and scoring and putting pressure on.
It could be,
but he's never done it for our club though.
No, it could well be. It all depends on how he tells them how to play, because Conte's a far more tactical manager than Nuno. I mean, Nuno had no tactics whatsoever. The way he set up his team, he just told them to go out and play football. Yeah, he's like, go on then, go and do it. Just show me what you can do, sort of thing. And they didn't know what the fuck they were doing, half of them.
And I think, Mr. K, I don't think there's any, or not as much of a question of if Conte can mould Ndombele into a certain player or whatever. I truly believe it's up to the players to get to Conte's standard. Conte will demand what he wants, and he'll expect what he asks for, and he'll say to Ndombele, "This is what I want you to do. Either you fit into what I want, or see you later." And I do believe there's going to be an element of that. I think there's no question of moulding a certain player into a system or into playing into a way that they've probably not played. I think it's up to the player to look up to Conte and think, right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that for you. I'm gonna be that player you want me to be. So I'd say it's about 30% Conte, because he will demand, but the rest of it's got to come to the players. And Ndombele in particular, he'll either go into his shell or he will take it on board and think, right, here we go. If I'm going to be one of the world, I've got the best teacher in front of me.
Well, I think that he's good. Ndombele's going to have until this season for Conte to kind of show what he can do. And if Conte doesn't like him, he's gone. He'll be one to raise funds in the summer, and there'll be a lot of clubs who will take him. Maybe not for that, and maybe for the 50 million, but they'll in and around about what we bought him for. They'll probably get rid of him. They might lose some money on him, but at least they'll have some money to go and buy someone else. So
I didn't mean that Conte will change Ndombele as a player in terms of his abilities. I'm thinking more in terms of being able to know how to use a player Ndombele.
Yeah,
to put the team around in terms of formation and tactics that will bring out the best in Ndombele, because I believe that the previous 2 managers weren't able to do that.
No, well, look at what he did with Lukaku. He made him shred all this weight. He lost so much weight. He's now so shredded. And if you listen to what Lukaku said in an interview not long ago, he was saying how Conte trained him, right, and how he used to, like, all this myth about him having not touch in the box. And he said they used to stay behind after training for hours or something like that. And they used to literally, he would get people to drill him the ball into the box until he got the touch right, and he'd be doing hours of training just on his touch in the box. Players,
Ndombele's going to do that. He's lazy.
Well, the thing is, it's if he doesn't want to, Will, right, do the training that Conte wants him to do to become a better player, then he's gone. And for me, I don't want him at Spurs, to be honest, because it shows that he doesn't give a shit. And I'd rather want players who might have less ability than him, but are going to give you 120% each time they play on that pitch, and they're going to do a lot more than he would offer for like 5 minutes of skill that he might offer, and comes off and does nothing with it. Or he might score a goal, but he does that once every so often. It's not enough. Unless you're doing consistently every game, then there's no point having a luxury player like that. It really isn't. Like, I'd rather, if he's going to play a 3-4 sort of 1-2, right? The one I'd play behind the striker, you could play maybe a Hill, or you could play a Lucas Moura, because Lucas Moura's best position is central. So you play him, and he gives you that speed and that dribbling ability that kind of just confuses the defenders. And then you have Son and Kane up top, and you have Kane as the kind of one who drops a bit more deeper and you've got Son as the runner in behind, and that's how you play it. And when you've got those kind of, if you've got Son and Moura presses, they press, and when you've got someone like that, like Moura, who will just run non-stop, it helps a lot. So yeah, I think
that's interesting. Kane definitely can play that deep lying forward, and Sonny can be released to play the attacking forward. That would be a good combination.
I think Nuno's going to know how to use them together. He's going to know.
Who do you think Conte would like to bring in January, though?
Yeah, I think this window has to be a striker. Is the number one priority. Right? I can't see them not going for a striker. Whether that's Vlahovic, Belotti, whoever it is they think they want to go for, I don't know. But it all looks like it. Who's that?
Gentleman, I've forgotten his name. Mataro, I think his name is.
No,
surely
I don't.
It's got to be Vlahovic.
Yeah, I don't think it is, because just for example, if Kane did say at the end of the season, I want to leave, they're going to need someone who's a kind of like for like. Lautaro, he needs to play with someone.
Plus, he's just signed a contract as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he has. I think. Well, I don't know if he has done it yet, but
Vlahovic has got to be the one we buy. He's killing it.
Yeah, it's also because of the stuff. If you watch Vlahovic, right?
He's also young.
He's in the box. He's a very composed, clinical finisher, and that's what Kane is as well. Kane is an in the box finisher as Kane's got everything, right?
Well,
but Vlahovic, No, I know, but if you watch Vlahovic, right, even this season, you watch him, his movement is like Kane's. The way he moves, the way he poaches, the way he finishes in the box, he's so clinical, but he's got a lot more to add to his game to become anywhere near that level of Kane. But he's a young player and he's got potential. So he's the one you've got going. He's big, he's strong, he can fit the physicality of the league. It's not going to be a problem for him. He's left-footed, and he can head a ball as well. So he's perfect for us, and especially if you pair him with someone like Son, it gives you the ability to kind of and that it gives you the ability to kind of have that the options so that you can change up the formation, and you can have, say, Kane and Vlahovic up top with Son behind, or whatever. You could have, if someone needs a rest, you play them two, or if you want to play Vlahovic and Son, it gives you, or Vlahovic just by himself and you play three behind them. It gives you a lot of options.
Yeah. And also as well, Jace, he's stated that he wants to leave. He's made it pretty clear that he wants to move on.
Yeah,
and yet he's still got 8 goals in 11 games.
And I think
he's still playing.
Yeah.
And what I think as well,
he's
with
not
him,
down tooling like somebody else we know.
No, he's not. He's not. But the thing is, like with Vlahovic, I think you when you have someone like Conte, it helps you bring in those kind of players, because if you've got someone like Nuno,
Vlahovic is like made for Conte. It's like if you were to, if Conte were to have a mold to mold a striker, that would be.
That's who he wanted. Yeah, and someone like I think the other player we need, I think more than anything, other than the striker, is probably a central midfielder, a more attacking-minded central midfielder. But I don't know if we're going to go for one. I think if they go for Kessie, obviously we've heard the reports that there's talks that they're trying to do a deal with him for next summer, but they can't sign off on that until January, because that's when he becomes an available player to kind of sign a pre-contract agreement with other clubs. So if we could get someone like him, then they might try and do a deal with AC Milan to bring him in now, so that it saves them, they can get a bit of money for him. Or if not, they know that they're going to have 2 midfielders in the summer with Pape Matar and Kessie. So I don't think they'll go for another midfielder unless they sell like a Dele Alli or Anna Harry Winks. Because if they sell both, then they're going to have to bring one in. But I think they might.
We're going to need someone British. For the.
Well, this is it. But
for the quota.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. So I think they could try for a defender. So I think they're going to go for 2 players in the window.
Guys, I gotta leave right now because basically I'm doing a job out in Leicester right now, and I've just taken a little break from the work there, and we're about to make a move out of here. It was a very long break. I think I totally forgot to finish off the job. So I'm gonna have to make some excuses else somewhere. I gotta make a move. I know you're gonna close the show very soon, and Gaguma's put themselves in a super chat over here. So I want you to get on with that. But I've got to say goodbye to everyone right now. Jason, it's a pleasure to see you again. And Bob Spur and Danny, absolutely fantastic to
Pleasure
be
to
here.
see you, man.
And Will, I've missed you loads, and I'm so glad you're back as well. And the viewing audience out there, the viewing audience, if you haven't liked, please do. It's absolutely free. If you like what you're hearing, then please do subscribe. Put the little notification bell on all the way up, because when live streams come out, you really want to jump in the beginning. And really, I think the best comment I've seen today is probably Jammy Git when he turned around and said the best position for Dele Alli is TikTok. So with that, I'm going to say, come on, you Spurs. And yes, all you viewers, I am back. Talk to K will be back. I'm just preparing the content and the style of the show. So I'm just making sure that that happens in the right way. Today was a little bit too soon for me to do so. Plus, I'm not actually at home. I'm actually I'm halfway up the country, to be exact. But come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Let's go. Welcome back, Mr. K, and I'll hit you up on WhatsApp, and we'll get that.
Right, my food delivery is going to be in 3 minutes, so just heads up.
Right,
Food delivery.
To answer your question, Will, everything Danny just said.
Everything Danny just said.
I couldn't disagree with him. So
And Gogama with the 2001 saying, come on, Conte, let's go. That's the Korean version. That's what Conte fighting means. It means, come on, let's go. In Korean, big up to her and everyone else who's put in super chats today.
Big up,
super chats do make me less negative. So that's what that sign says.
Yeah.
But Jason said everything Danny said. For me, look, I want to see Vlahovic. I think we need you just get rid of. I don't think we need to replace Dele Alli and Winks all that much. I'd like to get rid of Lo Celso and Ndombele. And I'd like
the thing
to.
Is, Celso could do well under Conte. He's the type of player that he likes to kind of work with those kind of fast, intricate players.
You know, I could also sprout wings and fly out of my back as well.
There we go.
It's
Well, see, time will tell.
Time will tell.
Will fly or will?
Well, the good thing is he's got until now, the end of the year, until the end of the season, to kind of assess who he wants. He'll obviously bring in. That's why he's not going to do a major transformation in the window. He'll get in some players that we need. It's going to be a striker, I reckon. They'll have to go for Vlahovic. If they don't, I'll be absolutely gobsmacked that he's going to go in and not have anyone come into the club, especially in a key position like the striker. And with Vlahovic. Well, exactly, and also that Vlahovic has got a year and a half left on his contract, so it's
6 months, doesn't he?
Is it 6 months?
I thought it was a year and a half.
It's a year and a half.
What's that?
I know he refused to re-sign a new contract.
He refused to re-sign, but he's got at the end of the season it's 1 year left, so that's why it's a year and a half now. That's why they're trying to tie him down, but he's like, nope. Because he knows that he's going to be tied into a contract. And I reckon they've probably spoken to him already. Like Paratici's probably spoken to him and his agent to say we want to come in for you. And that's probably a reason why. Because why else would a player want to reject more money? Because most of the time players are greedy fucks and they just want to sign a new contract every single time. But
we got to get him in January. I don't want to wait till summertime.
I agree. We need
him.
We need him in January.
They'll sell him in January because they'll get more money for him then than they will if they wait till summer.
Exactly.
Hold on, Bob's got to go. His food is here.
As much as I love you, Will, I love my belly more. Big up.
See you later,
big up, Dan. Big up, Jace. Come on, Will. Good to see you back, mate. And let's get those midnight streams in order. I like sleeping with you in my ear. Ah, yeah. See you later, mate. See you later, guys.
Later,
love
buddy.
You.
Have a good one.
Cheers, mate.
Piss off, Bob. Anyway, we got to sign Vlahovic. I really think that we need another right winger. What I would like to see is I'd like to see a Vlahovic Kane partnership up top with Son and another inverted winger in that right side of that three with Højbjerg, Kessie, or somebody else filling in. And then what you could kind of do is you could kind of shift that middle three around depending on who it is. If you need more defensive player, you play Kesey and Højbjerg alongside each other, or Højbjerg and Skip alongside each other. And then you move somebody in the middle. That's you drop more into that number 10.
Do you know what, Will? I think we do need a midfielder more than we do a defender right now. But I think they're going to go for a defender more than a midfielder right now.
I want
and
a
that's
defender
pure.
too.
Well, no, I don't think they're going to get 3 players. I think they're going to go for 2. They're going to get 2 good players. I think not. I reckon they're going to try and go for like a Skriniar type player and like a Vlahovic. Because that's 100 million right there. You could spend 100 million on 2 players, and you've got 2 class players. And that
Where
already.
are these reports coming from? Because I heard 250 million pounds.
I don't think it's going to be 250 million. I reckon that's probably the fee that they're going to give him over his contract, or maybe what they're going to give him over a space of a couple of years, depending on how he does. I don't think
like winter and summer.
Yeah,
Winter and
exactly.
summer.
I don't think that he's going to get 250. It's not. We're not Man City. We're not Chelsea. There's no way in hell they're going to give him 250 million in January. So they'll give him maybe 100 million or 50 million plus whatever you sell, sort of thing. So if they sell, I don't know, like a Winks for 20 million or something like that, or they might give him 70 million.
50 million in whoever you sell. Why did you even bring him in the first place?
Well, who knows? Who knows what it is? But I
we
reckon
need 4 or 5 players this window. We don't need 2.
The thing is, it's not going to happen this window. We're going to get 2 players this window. If we're lucky, we get 3.
I don't think I'll be lucky if we get 1. But what I'm saying is we need 4 or 5.
No, we need 4 or 5. Yeah, definitely. I just think they're going to go for a striker and a defender, a centre back, because if they're going for 3 at the back, if one of those defenders gets injured and we have to use what we have, we're fucked because those defenders are shit. The ones we have. We can't put Davinson Sanchez, Eric Dyer, and Rodon in a back 3 together because it ain't gonna work.
If we sign Vlahovic and Skriniar, I am definitely gonna go upstairs and knock one out. that is wank-worthy signings, right?
That literally is. I think we'll have to. I think everyone's gonna have to get some Kleenexes.
That's
anyway, folks,
100%.
It's time for us to go. Folks at home, we're back. Next show, international break this week or next week?
Next week, I think.
So there's Everton this weekend and then the international break?
I believe so. I could be wrong, but that's what I think it is.
Yeah. If that is the case, I'll double check on that. I'm not 100% sure. We'll be doing an FPL show tomorrow, around the same time. I haven't done that in a while. Then we'll be back Thursday. What time is our match Thursday? Is it a late one or early one?
8 o'clock UK time kickoff.
Okay. So that'll be 3 o'clock here. So probably do a 1 o'clock show. Maybe do like a pre-match show for that here on the channel on Thursday. Q&A show. Make sure you stick around for that. And then we'll be back if we're playing on the weekend. And for Everton. Conte's here. All of that's here. Danny the Bun. Jason Groves. My name is Will Stewart. Stay strong. Stay Spurs. And what happens, Danny?
Come on, you Spurs. Leave you out.
No, that's not it. Jason, what is it?
No idea.
Well, you guys come on my show all the time. How do you always
I
forget?
forgot. It's been so long, Will.
I don't even know my own name half the time, Will. I mean, come on.
People in the comments, what is it? That's right. We will
Fuck you, Amadeus.
see you next time.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's go now.
Just want to thank all of our Patreon members, YouTube members, and everyone else who supports the channel. You guys help make this possible. Thank you very much for all of your support. And don't forget to head over to www.thfcrants.com and pick yourself up some merch. We will see you guys next time.